Welcome everybody to yet another episode here today. I say episode, of course I mean stream, right? Welcome back to another live stream, fellas. This time we're going to be doing something a little bit different from usual. Instead of our usual crap, instead we're going to be playing a little bit of Clone Drone because I'm mixing it up, right? I like diversity here on the channel in terms of content. And that's exactly what we are going to do. So, I'm going to wait a little bit. Wait a second for people who will join to join. I'm also, alright, changing that. Okay, messing with some stuff. Alright, now, there is a Twitch mode here, but, you know, I'm not on Twitch, so. Well, I mean, I technically am, but I do better. I do way better on YouTube, so obviously prefer that. Let me see. Alright, now there is a Twitch mode here, but okay. Just checking my audio and everything, making sure everything's good. Alright, we are a go. It's kind of weird that like the sound is cut out. Okay, so we're gonna just jump straight into this, and I mean, of course, I'll wait till people actually join before I start talking about stuff. We got random upgrade challenge, allies challenge, Spidertron challenge. Okay, now I also want to do the co-op challenges, which I know are incredibly difficult. Here we go. Right, I know these are the hardest. Now, for context, I have beaten almost every single challenge on Clone Drone in the Danger Zone on Xbox, but on laptop here, or PC, whatever you want to call it, I have not, right? So I've completed most of the solo challenges, but I haven't in most of the campaign. I actually did most of the story mode in the background of my last video as the background gameplay, but I haven't done any of the significant challenges. So we're going to start off with one of the solo ones here, the random upgrade challenge. The ally challenge is easy, that's why I'm saving that one for last. Random upgrade. This one sucks.
Marilyn, help.
So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Oh, sweet. Okay. Luckily, I'm starting off with a spear.
Very exciting.
Let me turn down their commentary crap.
Is it too loud?
Alright. Now, the spear is my best weapon. Easily.
Victory.
So,
very nice.
You'll find me using this the most outside of when I'm forced to.
Yes.
Alright. Turning down the music volume, turning down their volume. Alright. Now, the random upgrade challenge has a tendency to be... This is probably the worst single-player challenge in this game. They're always the most obnoxious. Okay. They're always the most obnoxious whenever you're trying to think or focus on something. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, the random upgrade challenge. This challenge sucks. Okay, because of obvious reasons. So there's not really much you can do about this challenge other than just being good. Which I'd say I'm.
I like this choice.
I don't want to say I'm really good at Clone Drone, but I would say I'm at least better than the average player. But sometimes that isn't enough, right? Because I mean, there's too many factors that play in. Like, of course, I still want upgrades that actually help me instead of useless crap like bow upgrades. Speaking of which, you're not going to catch me using a bow voluntarily most of the time, because I hate using bows in this game. The spear is my favorite weapon. The sword is a useful weapon, so then I'll use it. The hammer can be useful, but it's still... Speak of the devil. But I prefer other things over it. And then the bow, while I guess useful, I don't think it even serves a role when you have other weaponry available.
Here comes the silver tier. Love it.
Now, the worst part about this challenge is the lack of block projectiles becomes very apparent. So, archers become your worst nightmare, and simple enemies become the hardest enemies. So, yeah, now I do have a shield, which makes this a bit easier, but not a lot. And if I lose my left hand, or if the shield becomes too damaged by fire or something, then it's not going to matter anyways.
Nice. Good movement.
Alright. Let's get down here.
To death with spears.
Death pokers, assemble.
Death pokers. Okay. I still don't have energy capacity. That's one of the worst parts is they don't give that to you. What the heck's going on with my W key? Okay. Get down here. Alright, just checking audio again. I'm not going to explain why I always check audio, because I've done that, like, I'd say every stream I've done on this freaking channel, I've explained why I do that, so I feel like people are sick of hearing me explain why. Assuming the same people did watch the previous streams. Now, like, the hammer can be useful in circumstances like this, but at the same time, I wouldn't exactly go swinging this thing around the freaking archers, you know?
Excellent. The human is getting.
But like you can see, I'm breezing through the bronze and silvers here, which isn't saying a lot, but some people take a whole lot longer, right? I'm completing these levels in a couple of seconds. It's not until I get to the diamonds here where things really become, you know, difficult.
Good choice.
I mean, the gold tier is only difficult when they swarm you with jetpack bots. That's the only exception. Or if it's a challenge where it's meant to be difficult the whole time. But that's, you know, pretty obvious. I know that guy's not dead yet, but I'm just going back for these guys. Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright. There's not really anybody in here right now, so not really anyone to talk to. I mean, I'm already talking to myself, but I don't want to go on like a whole tangent, and I'm just addressing myself, so. Okay, I was going to say energy capacity or kick. Give me one of the two. Because kick allows you to then get up. Get up is probably the most important upgrade in this entire game. Next to, like, the first energy capacity upgrade. Because you can win without all the other upgrades. There's a very low chance that you're winning with low energy capacity, and then there's definitely a lower chance you're winning with without get up. Especially if there are a lot of flame raptors in whatever you're doing. Alright. Okay, sword bot's destroyed. You know, one of these days I'm going to make a list. I don't know if it'll be a tier list or a top 10 list or what it'll be. But, because, I mean, I've done both. But, or both for things before, I mean. But, I'm definitely going to do some sort of list on my least favorite enemies in all of gaming. Okay, because I have a lot of least favorite enemies. And this game actually contains probably 2 or 3 of those enemies, right?
Another level we built while streaming.
But like, Jesus Christ, dude, the commenters never shut the hell up. Jesus, like every time I go to say something, they're already talking over me. It's like, dude, we get it. And it's worse because they say the same lines. So then I've memorized their freaking lines by now. The only thing that, you know, you can't memorize when they're going to say it most of the time. Unless they already start with the line. But you definitely know what they're going to say once they begin with it. Anyways, like I was saying, this game has 2 or 3 of those enemies that are my least favorite. The Mark III hammer bots are one of them, and the Mark II jetpack sword bots are definitely the other one, because they are rigged, dude. They literally, they just chase you down with jetpacks. They don't stop for anything. They kill you instantaneously upon touching you. I mean, they're just blocking their attacks is nearly impossible. And this game's very unforgiving with damage, right? Well, I mean, one tiny move and you're instantly dead like a light switch, so...
I love watching this level.
I will say, definitely my least...
Upgrade blocks.
Oh
They
my
could upgrade each
Jesus
other.
Christ.
That is dangerous talk. Analysis fault. It may sound tempting. The rules are there for a reason.
Okay. I'm just kidding. You know what? I'm gonna turn off the announcers. It's weird turning their voices off because I'm so used to hearing them talk, but I'll get over it. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Right. If I had to say what my least favorite enemy in all of gaming is, it would definitely be the snipers from Payday 2. If you've ever seen an enemy with aimbot before, I mean, this is the peak of aimbot. Like, whatever you've seen before in terms of enemy accuracy, nothing compares to the snipers in Payday 2. They are physically incapable of missing. Literally. Anything above very hard difficulty, and the snipers instantly kill you. And they never miss. They are physically incapable of missing unless they're shooting at cover, which isn't really them missing, it's just them hitting another thing because you went behind it. So, and if they had armor piercing, it'd be over for you. So it's like, yeah, it's just, there's no chance. And then if you play on Death Wish, just your goodbye, right? Snipers they will end you immediately. And then for whatever reason, they're wearing basically no body armor, right? Besides like maybe a bulletproof vest. And yet they're like a T-800, they just never die. So you can blast the crap out of them. I've blown them up before and they just don't die. So yeah, those are definitely my least favorite enemies in all of gaming. I say enemies plural because obviously there are multiple snipers. And there's multiple of them at once, so typically, I mean. But probably another one of my least favorite enemies are the Wookiee warriors in Battlefront 2. Now you may be asking which Battlefront 2? Both of them, right? Because the Wookiee warriors in Battlefront 2 2005, they have the most health out of any regular soldier and regular unit in the game. And then what other abilities do they have that are really annoying? I know they have some kind of grenade attack that is just ridiculous, and then they kill you very fast with their bowcaster. And then they're even worse in the new Battlefront 2 because they got those stupid thermal imploders, and then you can't get close to them because then they'll smash the ground and send you flying. So yeah, they are not fair at all. So that's probably like number 4 on my least favorite enemies list. I wonder how I would rank Helldivers 2, because I hate every single enemy in that game with no exceptions. Every single enemy type in that entire game, I hate. They are some of the most annoying enemies in all of gaming. So, I don't even know how I'd rank that. I think I'd just pile it all into one category, and I don't even know where I'd put it. Maybe I'd just put it in honorable mention, or honorable mentions, because, you know, it's kind of cheating having one big category, but I don't know. Now, you see, it may seem contradictory to charge into the enemies when they're swinging at you, but most of the time it's actually better to do that than to back up, because if you back up, then they're going to move and adjust themselves to attack you, and then they're going to hit you and kill you. So that's really what you want to avoid. Alright, let me get my upgrade. It'd be kind of weird if I got Flame Breath in this challenge. Excuse me, that'd be interesting. And what's that, guys? I'm gonna check something. I'm gonna mute my mic. Alright guys, I'm back. Just had to adjust something. Alright. Let me just, Alright, I'm good. Okay. Let's get back up there. You know, I was kind of wanting to play, SCP Observer today. You know, horror game and all. But I'm thinking I'll save that for, like, tomorrow. Or actually, I can't do it tomorrow. I got something to do tomorrow, but I don't know, maybe I'll do like Sunday or something. I think that'd be fun. Playing a horror game. And then, what else? I want to do something FNAF related, but I don't know what I want to do. So, I don't know. And obviously there's not a whole lot of games you can do that on, so it's pretty much just going to be Gmod. But, which, you know, that'd be fun. But with Gmod, you got to set a bunch of stuff up, and I mean, I guess I don't have to, but there's not a whole lot of maps that have preset events, you know? Because it's like because I mean, I know 2, of course. Technically, I know 3, but one of them isn't really very good. But, you know, it's like, I don't know. I don't want to play the same maps, and then I also don't want to set a bunch of stuff up. Because the setup, you know, I have to do a lot of it on stream. And if I'm streaming the whole thing, then obviously it's going to be kind of, there's going to be this awkward, you know, middle period where I'm not really doing anything. So, I don't know. But, what was I going to say? Oh, sweet, I did get Flame Breath. Nice. Is it F on here? Yeah, it is. Okay. Alright. What was I gonna say? I don't even remember what I was gonna say. Yeah, but as much as I want to do something FNAF related, I'm not really sure. I wasn't freaking paying attention. Okay. I'm not really sure what it is that I'm wanting to do with that. I don't know. I'll figure something out. You know, I actually played SCP Secret Lab. I almost said Laboratory, like I'm 5. Played SCP Secret Laboratory today. Speaking of 5-year-olds, there were a lot of what sounded like little kids on there playing. They were very obnoxious. I mean, I muted everybody, but I don't know. The game's fun, but I don't like that it's restricted to multiplayer. I think that is one of the biggest ways to not ruin a game, but to ensure that a game has a short lifespan, is to make it exclusively multiplayer. That is one of the worst things you can do to a video game. Oh, sweet, I got kick. I can't use kick right now because I don't have shield bash, but I need kick to get up, so that's important, if I even need it by now. But, yeah, I think that's one of the quickest ways to let your game die, is to make it exclusively multiplayer. Now, this, of course, is a false statement when it comes to Battle Royale games. Like, actually, scratch that. Dang, that was the biggest voice crack I think I've ever had on camera. That was terrible. Okay, I sounded like a squeaker there for a minute. I was gonna say that's not even true with the example I was gonna give. I was gonna say with something like Fortnite that everybody plays, it's like, oh, well, it's, you know, almost exclusively multiplayer. That's not even true. There's all these additional things in the game. You have creative. So, yeah, that's why I'm not using that as an example, because that's just blatantly false. Even PUBG has some stuff that's single player, and it's got private servers, things like that. So, but it's like some games are... oh, welcome into the chat, everybody. Oh, dang! I need to stop getting distracted by stupid stuff, because every time I get distracted, I die. And then when I play like I'm not really caring all that much, that's when I mow through the enemies like they're nothing. So I really need to just... I need to stop, like, looking over at chat and then panicking and dying. Anyways, yeah, but it's like, some games I'm thinking of, like, I mean, even Chaos Insurgency doesn't have this. I can't think of a particular example, besides, of course, Secret Laboratory, which I'm talking about. But some games are like, exclusively multiplayer, and Oh, sweet, clone. And I don't understand why they're exclusively multiplayer, because it's like, okay, once the players are gone, that's it, the game's dead, right? I think the best way to keep your game alive is to have AI that behave like players, right? So like Call of Duty, dude, those games physically cannot die, because not only do you have campaigns, but also you've got freaking bots in customs for anybody that wants to play. Now, of course, the game itself has to be good first, right? So you can't have, like, for example, Black Ops 4. I know some people like Black Ops 4. I think it is probably one of the most, if not the most, boring shooter game I've ever played. Like, it's literally Black Ops 3, but for some reason it doesn't have what makes Black Ops 3 fun. I don't even know what it is that it lacks. It just doesn't feel fun. It doesn't feel appealing or satisfying to kill things. It's just kind of boring, right? And when it comes to, certain, Titanfall 2, that was the other example, right? What is happening with my W key? Okay. But it's like, some games force multiplayer, and so once the multiplayer's up, that's it, the game's dead, right? Or it's basically dead. And it's like, yeah, you've got some games, some games don't even have a campaign, right? But it's like some games do have campaigns and things, but then you just can play the campaign. Ooh, sweet, Fire Spear. But then you've just got the campaign to play, right? And it's like, okay, some games it's excusable, right? Like, obviously, Halo Combat Evolved was made at a time where it's like, okay, the campaign is the main event. You're not playing it as like, oh, here's all these side game modes, buddy, But it's like, Halo 3 ODST is automatically made much more playable or replayable, because not only do you have the campaign. Bro, get up! Oh, right, I don't have get up. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, this is why I was talking about that upgrade earlier. But I can't, oh god, now I'm one-legged. But I can't get the freaking upgrade because the upgrade bot won't give it to me. This is where the random upgrade part of this challenge starts to suck. Alright. But, with Halo 3 ODST, it's made more replayable because you got Firefight on top of the great campaign. And so, that's why that game is much more, accessible. But then Halo 3 is a lot harder to replay because you just got the campaign. Right, now the campaign is amazing. What's up, Pedro? And the campaign is amazing, but it's like, that there's only so much you can do with that before you run out of stuff. Jesus Christ, is Warfare Bot just gonna keep knocking my cheeks down? Dang. This isn't a love hotel, man. I shouldn't be laying in bed waiting for you. Where's Warfare Bot even at? He can fly everywhere. I looked over at chat and then got clowned on. But Warfare Bot is just trolling me. What? Show yourself, you insolent fool. Charge! There we go. Get that. Suck it. Alright. Anyways, back to important things, kind of. I wouldn't really call them important. But, that's what makes those games more replayable. And it's like, when a game lacks multiplayer, or lacks a single-player capability, why is my W key isn't working? Or it wasn't. I'm experiencing every problem on the planet at this very random time. Okay. Alright, nice. Victory. See, a good player in this game can go with one leg, one arm, and still manage to beat an entire level, right? There it is. And have no get up when you most need it. Please give me it. Okay, or give me power kick. Yeah, I can use that, with one leg and all. Anyways, yeah. But some games just limit themselves way too much. And it's like, if you have nice moves, man. Thanks, Crow. And it's like, if you've got a game where bots act like players, like, for example, Call of Duty Ghosts, I can still hop on and play that because the AI are actually better than the human players that play the game, including the friends I've played against. And so it's like, obviously that makes the game much more replayable than a game that doesn't have that kind of stuff. Like Titanfall 2, that's it. Unless you can get some buddies on, to play a server, I mean, that's it. The game's dead. So, yeah, those are definitely the better kinds of games to get, or ones where there's more capabilities. And that's why this game can survive, is because, you know, multiplayer isn't the reliance. Welcome to the chat, everybody. Glad to see you, everyone here. Almost just stuttered big time. That would have been embarrassing. I mean, it's like half my channel being commentary. I stutter a lot. Please give me get up. Okay, or give me a sword. That's nice too. But alright, I'm in titanium. I got 2 levels left. So as long as I play my cards right, and by my cards right, I mean I don't look over at chat and get distracted and die abruptly. So that means type messages right now, fellas, so I can look over and be distracted. Alright. Now I don't have get up, so this is a very risky situation. So I'm just gonna jab at his kneecaps until he and I'm going down. Alright. Okay, so we got Spidertron 6000 in the middle, and then some pretty weak enemies besides this thing. Ow. I'm still going, man. I got 1 leg, 1 arm. Still got my spear, and as long as I have my spear in my hands, I'm victorious. I'm like an old world Spar. Oh god. Okay. Oh. Okay. Now, one thing I was gonna bring up was, here, I'll wait till I beat this level. Actually, I'll wait till I beat this challenge, because I'm really close, and I don't want to abruptly have to restart, because I start rambling, and then... Wait, what's left? What's left? Oh, it's this clown. Alright, buddy. Let's wrap this up. I don't want to get caught off guard and murdered by this man, because any enemy in this game is still a threat to you, weak or not. So... What's up, WX analyst Caden Barker? It's good to see you again. What's up, man? You know, I was actually gonna do an SCP Observer stream, like another one. I think you were in that one when we did that. Yeah, I think so. But I decided against it. I almost just got chopped in half because I was distracted. But we made it, fellas. It's all right. I'm literally hopping on 1 leg with 1 arm, but I'm making it. I'm probably gonna be quadriplegic soon, but it's all right. Oh, goody! Good thing I got shield bash. I really needed that. Yeah, that's gonna help me in my journey. Oh wait, I need legs to kick. Who would have thought? Incredible. Oh my. Oh god. Oh, okay. I'm not sure how many of you were here earlier when I mentioned this, but this is my least favorite enemy and type in this entire game, and of course they had to give it to me at the very end. Got two levels left. Alright, Jesus. Okay. Alright, let's all play Dodge the Sword. Oh, God. Now I've got fire on my sides. That's the advantage. Oh, Lord. Got him.
Victory.
Alright, sweet. Win 3 levels in a row with only 1 leg. 'Tis but a scratch. A scratch? Your whole arm's off. I actually watched Monty Python the Holy Grail 2 days ago. It was a great movie. I mean, I knew some references from it already. Like, everyone knows the "'tis but a scratch" joke, right? Or like African or European swallow, you know? But I hadn't seen the full movie until 2 days ago. It is, I mean, it's definitely a classic. The ending was kind of abrupt. Oh, jeez. Okay. The ending was kind of abrupt, though, but I get that's, you know, the point. It is literally a cop-out ending. What? Okay. I just got shot by a bow and arrow at a guy that I stabbed with a fire spear, but it's okay. We're on the last level. I better not die. Okay, I'm gonna have to play this really cautious. I'm going into focus mode, guys. Alright. Okay. Archers are dead. We're good. Next floor. Alright, almost got clowned on by the Fire Raptors. Challenge complete. Let's get it. That's 1 down, fellas. random upgrade challenge. I'm not sure how many of you guys were present here at the beginning of the stream, but I actually said that I've completed every single player challenge and then most of the multiplayer challenges in this game on Xbox. I just haven't done it on PC, so I'm doing that for content, right, for the stream. Alright, next one up. Should we do co-op? What do you guys think? Should I do a co-op challenge, or should I finish off the single-player challenges? I'll let you guys decide. See me. There you go, Pedro. He's getting hyped up. Let's go. That's one down. Another to go. What do you guys think? Co-op or finish off single-player challenges? Now, the thing about the co-op challenges are that they expect you to do it with another person, so I proceed to do them all by myself. However, because they expect you to do it with another person, they force you to get to uranium tier instead of titanium. So you get Mark V everything, and everything is so much worse than usual. You get Mark IV sword bots, quite early. Finish off the single player. You got it, man. Let's see. Ally or Spider Shock? I'm not going to wuss out. I'm going to do the Ally challenge last, because I know that one's actually supposed to be easy. But, I'll finish off the I actually tried this one already, but this one's pretty difficult because I don't know. I mean, there's a lot to it, but it's primarily just these stupid things, right? All right, this one's more luck based because it's a matter of whether the little bombs that they shoot out knock you down, and then it's also a matter of where they knock you down into, and then sometimes they have a random chance to kill you, so that's always a problem as well. Also, just know that little thing I just did with the elevator, that's a trick I've learned. So it's like, it gets you down over by upgrade bot quickers when you thrust at like the last second to move that way. I kicked this way. Yeah, it can be. Good stuff though. I don't know why I just like went blank mentally. I don't know what just happened. Jesus! Oh my, dang! Okay, I went into like a catatonic state, and then suddenly I'm missing a leg. Okay, well, where death awaits. Oh, Mother Mary! That's what happens when you zone out playing Clone Drone, guys. I looked at that guy's name, Mr. Gamer, and then I just went totally blank. Like, I read his name, I was like, something weird about this guy's name, and then I just randomly zoned out and died. It's alright, guys, we didn't really get that far anyways. We'll be back there in like, I don't know, 20 seconds, something like that. Anyways, I actually started watching a new, not sure how many of you guys have watched my other videos, but I actually started watching a new anime yesterday. It is weird. No, it's not weird. It's like, I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it. I'm not one to use slang, but the entire plot of it is just aura farming, is what it is. That's the slang term for it, right? So, yeah. It's Shadow, or it's Eminence in Shadow is the show. And I didn't realize until like episode 8 that the show is supposed to be a parody of isekais. So it's actually a comedy. I didn't realize that, so I thought that they were just taking themselves too seriously, and I was like, wow, it's kind of cringy, but also it's kind of funny, so I'm gonna keep watching it. Honestly, the show would be really good if the main character wasn't a psychopath, right? And he is. Like, I've watched Death Note, where, Light Yagami literally has a god complex, and you could say he's a psychopath or narcissistic, right? I'd say it's probably one of the two. Although he's never diagnosed with either, so it's kind of hard to really determine which it is. Although I would argue it's more along the lines of narcissistic personality disorder, because, I mean, he does have a god complex, which usually is affiliated more with the latter rather than psychopathy. But the main character, Sid, in Eminence in Shadow, he is a psychopath. He has absolutely zero regard for anybody else. I wouldn't even I can hardly even say he has regard for himself. He kind of just doesn't really care about anything. And, I don't know, he's weird. Like, his whole entire thing, I'm not even joking, he's pretty much like a wannabe comic book character. And he's not even really like I want to be a comic book hero or a comic book villain. His whole thing is kind of like, I want to be the hero, but nothing he does actually reflects that statement. So, yeah, not really. And his whole thing, unlike most shows, isn't like, I want to become stronger. His whole thing is more like, I am the best man here, and I'm going to do whatever I think is the most entertaining. Right, so it's kind of weird. It's not like the whole Deku, I'm gonna be, stronger and I'm gonna be the best hero there is, or it's not even like Pokemon where it's, I want to be the best there is and I'm gonna get clowned on in the league every freaking season. It's more along the lines of, I'm already overpowered and I'm gonna do this because it looks cool. So in his whole organization, they're goofy. To be honest, I never watch any anime, so I'm so lost right now. Pedro, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. So, you guys all just saw that I died to what seemed like nothing, right? That's because that's what I was saying earlier about luck with these challenges, or with this challenge specifically, is that sometimes the bombs just knock you down like pinball, and then other times they instantly game end you. So, and I wasn't even near the bomb either, so it's totally random. Alright, got Spidertron 6000. Except when you were describing... except when you were describing it right now. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't watch anime. Like, usually anime is restricted to a very select group of people. But, double kill. But, I mean, there are a lot of good animes, and I didn't really watch anime until last September, right? So September of 2024 is when I started getting into anime, and before that I didn't really think anything of it. I was like, I mean, yeah, I know there's some good shows in there. Like, I had heard Death Note was good, and then I had actually watched Pokemon. I'd watched XYZ, and then I'd watched, whatchamacallit, the Alola arc, but the Alola arc was obviously for kids, while XYZ was actually surprisingly good, but I didn't really think much of it, because, I don't know, I just didn't think it was as good as, like, most Western media. It's like, why would I watch an anime when I can go watch Star Wars, And obviously, I still hold that sentiment for the most part. But then I started watching more, right? Like, My Hero is probably the second ever anime I watched, and I mean, I would say it's actually a pretty good show, Now, the show gets a bad reputation because of its fan base, but the show itself has amazing character writing and really good action, right? But then I didn't realize how good anime could be until last September. I started watching Quintessential Quintuplets, right, which is a romance anime, and I thought it was going to be stupid, and I was like, I didn't think anything of it, and then I started watching it, and I was like, oh my god, this is peak. This is the best storytelling of all time. And so I got more and more hooked on it, and I was watching more and more, right? I got to the end of season 2, I was like, wow, we're almost finished. There's just a movie and then we're done. And then I finished the movie and I was like depressed after, I had post-series depression. I was like, what now? It's all over, And so it's funny because on Steam, I had looked at a bunch of games. I'd looked at visual novel games, and I had seen the Quintessential Quintuplets video game on here, and I was like, and I actually said it out loud too. I said, why would anybody get a visual novel game for $32? Or was it, maybe it was $35. I think it was $32. And it was 2 of them, and it was a bundle of both Quintessential Quintuplets visual novel games. I was like, why would anybody pay $32 for a VN game? It's stupid, right? And then I finished the show, and then I was like, wow, I want more, It was like Anakin in the Jedi Council chambers. So then I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm getting it. So then I got it immediately, and the game is great. I haven't played one of the games, but I've played the first one that I got, and it's really good. Right now, I haven't actually finished it, but I can tell. I mean, it's got pretty suitable storytelling for the series. It's definitely a faithful interpretation of it. And so I started watching more shows, and I got onto Kaguya-sama Love is War because one of my friends suggested it, and he was like, hey man, I heard this show's really good, because I'd asked for recommendations. Now, he had never seen it. I didn't know that he had never seen it. And so I started watching it, and I was like, okay, this is a little weird, you know? First episode starts, I'm laughing my cheeks off. It's hilarious. And then it gets better and better and better, and I get more and more invested. And I can honestly say that Kaguya-sama Love is War, I wasn't looking at my screen, I just got knocked over. I can honestly say that Kaguya-sama Love is War is probably one of, probably top 5 favorite TV shows now of all time. It's not even close, right? And then somewhere in between this, I had watched Death Note as well, and obviously that was peak. And so it's like, I had immediately gotten hooked into it. And so I started watching more and more shows, and I started doing it at a speed that is absolutely incredible, right? We're talking I'd finish a whole show in a week. So, and this show would have 2 seasons, right? And so I started watching more and more, and I mean, that's how I got hooked on anime. And I started making content about it too. So if you check out the rest of my channel, I've got a ton of anime videos. Last video, in fact, was a top 10 list on annoying anime tropes. So there's a lot of really good anime, and then there are some meh shows. And so basically, if I had to break this down into an easier way of putting it, I would say Western media does action the best, I would say most of the time, especially sci-fi. But if you're looking for romance, if you're looking for comedy, or if you're looking for a relaxing show to watch, anime is your thing. Right now, some of them are horrifying and nightmarish, right, and you'd never watch it to relax. Or it's like To Love Ru, where you're miserable watching it because you're ripping your hair out. But for the most part, I mean, it is superior comedically, I would say, to most Western media. Now, in terms of actual storytelling and action, I mean, some things just can't be beaten, right? I mentioned Star Wars a lot, Indiana Jones, stuff like that. There's no beating it, you know? So it's you can't really compete with that, or Star Trek. But yeah. So that's my breakdown of it. That's my judgment. And that's kind of the opinion from relatively a newbie on the subject. Ow. What the? Okay. I have to leave for a bit. Don't worry, I'll come back. All right, well, I'll see you soon. Seeing you soon? I'll see you soon, Pedro. I don't know if it's a lack of sleep or something, or if it's just, I don't know. Whenever I start messing up the English language, that's when you know I'm tired. You'll probably notice I'm tired a lot because I don't sleep very often. I'm typically up watching movies, watching shows, playing video games. I mean, I also write, so sometimes I'm writing a book. I think one time I spent, I don't even know, I think I spent 5 hours writing 3 chapters in a book. That took forever. I mean, that was a lot. But pretty much my motivation is very, very limited to do things. So I have to become, very hyped up and motivated to do stuff. And once I am, I don't stop doing it until it's finished. But it takes a long time. So that's why video making takes me so long, is because I gotta get really hyped up to make a video to want to edit it and everything. And then if I'm writing, obviously it takes a lot to motivate yourself to write. And then sometimes you get writer's block. But then once you start writing, I mean, you don't stop, you know? Alright, let's see. Energy capacity, extra life. I mean, I don't really need that many upgrades. I could also get a fire. I think I'll get a fire sword. That'd probably help me the most. It's kind of funny how that sword turns into a fire sword, even though it was previously a normal one. Oh god, it's this level. Dude, this level's rigged. I forgot this is why I lost the challenge when I tried it before. Oh my god. Yeah, you're forced into this extremely close quarters combat with an enemy that has a splash damage attack. And they... Oh, and it just keeps going, too. And then they give them armor, too, like it wasn't hard enough. Alright. Come here. Okay. They're down. Moving on. Oh, God. This is why. They put the jetpack... Spear jetpack Mark 1 bots in here. Oh, I gotta kill them first. Okay. That's one down. One down. Okay. Or two down. One more down, I mean. Alright. Oh, also the lighting makes it hard to see what model of enemy you're fighting. So, I can't tell if I'm fighting Mark 4s or Mark 3s or Mark 2s. So, that sucks. Well, besides these losers who have, you know, their goofy shields and shield bash ability. Alright. Okay, sweet. I'm doing better than when I did this alone, so... Alright, nice. Okay, so I guess we got one level left. Hello, I'm back. What did I miss? Not really much. I just beat a couple of difficult levels, and I'm on to the final level here. I rambled a little bit more, but, I mean, you can always go back and watch it if you really, you know, need to listen to it. Alright. You know, I like doing regular videos, but I also, like, I like doing regular videos when it's necessary. Like, if I'm doing role-playing or something, or, you know, a tier list or something like that, I prefer doing it in a regular video because I can have funny sound effects and editing and such. But when I'm doing normal things, I like doing it in a stream because I like having an active audience. Maybe it's like a theater kid thing, but not that I'm, like, a major theater kid. I mean, I took drama in high school, but not like... You know. Okay, hang on. I gotta catch this. Alright. But, yeah. I don't know. I prefer a live audience because it's more interaction, so I don't feel like I'm just talking to myself like usual. So, that definitely helps me. Ow. Alright. Okay, so I got one clone left. I cannot die. I'm hearing that well. Alright. What the? Okay. So I'm gonna try to bait the enemies and... Okay, I guess they'll all just kill themselves randomly. Morons. Alright. So, Spidertron 6000 is the only threat left. Besides this thing. Came to ambush me. Alright. Oh goody, there's more crap. What is that? Okay, that's new. I don't think I've seen that before. Okay, well they're dead now, whatever it was. Where's the other archer? Alright, cut him down. Okay, that's one head, or one eye down. Come here, you stupid thing. There we go, challenge completed. Alright, Spidertron challenge done. Note that most of these are on the first try. That wasn't on the first try, that was on the second try, but... Alright, sweet. So we got one single player challenge left, the Ally challenge. This one should not be difficult, but... I don't know, maybe it'll be magically the most difficult challenge. Who knows? Or my ally will kill me. I actually don't know if there's friendly fire. Alright. Oh goody, they're Mark 1s. Okay. I think I'll use the spear this time. You know, once I upgrade, I mean. You guys are real useful. 10 out of 10. Alright. Oh, there's only 10 levels. Sweet. Okay. Block projectiles, or I'll just get energy capacity. Alright. Does anybody have a TV show recommendation? Not just animated stuff, but, you know, really just anything. I don't know, because I'm still waiting for Stranger Things Season 5 to come out. Oh, you're all my allies. I didn't expect such powerful allies to pop out of nowhere. Alright. I really don't want you to team kill me on accident, assuming you can. Oh, or for me to team kill you. Okay, I'm really trying to avoid my teammate here. Die, please. What? You serious? Was this thing invincible? Die! Victory. Man was cut in half and he was still functioning. Okay. But, yeah, I don't know. TV show recommendations, that'd be cool. I got a lot of free time right now, so I'm trying to figure out stuff that I want to do. What else was I going to say? I don't know. Hey, everybody in chat, what would you say your favorite show is? Or favorite TV show? Doesn't have to be animated or anything, just in general. I would say my favorite TV show, hands down, is Gotham. Now, Star Wars The Clone Wars is also really good. The mission's done already? Dang. Okay. Star Wars The Clone Wars is really good as well. And what else? Stranger Things is good. I don't know, there's some other good shows, some horror ones. The show From, absolutely terrifying, very depressing, but I would say that show's really good. I don't know. I don't know what most people consider to be good and bad shows, you know? It's like a lot of people don't seem to watch TV shows as much as you'd expect. I actually don't really know what most people do nowadays. I say that like I'm 75, but I just, you know, I just don't interact with people all that much. You guys are doing great. Tell me if I need to chime in anytime, and also don't light me on fire. That'd be preferable. Oh. I don't know if there is friendly fire, but I really don't want to risk it. Alright. There we go, double kill. Come here. There we go. That's cute. You two knocked each other over. That's nice. Hey, WX Analyst, you still there? I'm wondering. I'm assuming Pedro's still there. Alright. Should I get a clone or should I get a spear? I don't have a favorite show, but if I had to choose, then it will have to be Transformers Animated, Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and other crap. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was actually really good. I like that. Transformers Animated, haven't watched it in like 9 years? I don't even know. Maybe we're not even thinking of the same show. Or maybe we are, and it's just really old. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really watch all the Transformers stuff. That's actually one of the only sci-fi franchises that I don't touch, which is interesting. Other than, I'm all over sci-fi, so that's kind of weird. Oh, God. Okay, fellas, this is your first look at a Mark V Hammerbot. Equipped with full jetpack capabilities, thrusters, and a giant flaming hammer that's the size of Kansas. Alright. And what do I get? Laser bot? So what I wasn't expecting for the Ally Challenge was a giant flaming hammer in the hands of a Mark V uranium tier hammerbot. Noted. Duly noted. This is actually way worse than I thought it would be. I shouldn't really be surprised. Anytime I underestimate something, it tends to be way worse than the things that I overestimate. Anyways, I guess that's just, you know, an overestimation effect. But back to the TV shows. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was really good. I don't know. I think I missed out on like an entire season or something because I watched it with a sibling. I don't know. I think I missed a lot of it. But what's my favorite arc of that show? I don't even know if you can categorize it into arcs, but I don't know. The entire build-up to Hydra being revealed, you know, pretty much like building up to the events of Winter Soldier, is definitely one of the coolest parts of the show, right? Like, obviously, I tend to like that and stuff. You know, I mean, that's partly because I like horror, the horror franchise. But it's like, I tend to like the suspense of building that looming threat that's, you know, appearing. It's kind of like knowing, it's like watching Revenge of the Sith, and not Revenge of the Sith. It's like watching Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7, and you know Order 66 is coming up soon, but you don't know when it's going to be, so then it's like you're getting closer and closer to Revenge of the Sith, and then you're just wondering when's it going to happen, you know, and it's the build-up the whole time. It's this looming anxiety that it creates, but it's a good feeling of anxiety. Ow, my head, okay. So, I'd say that's definitely my favorite part about the show. Oh, I won and got an achievement. Okay, I just assumed I was about to die. Whew. If nobody has any replies, then I'll bring up something else in like a minute and a half. Alright. Fire Spear or Shield? I don't know. I'll go Fire Spear. Actually, what level are we on now? Okay, this level it should be fun. A shield may actually not help that much here. Ow. Okay, so they can hit me too. That's good to note. Alright. Really? Got stomped by my own Flame Raptors. Get them, boys. Take no prisoners. Not that you're programmed to do that anyways, but, you know, nor would you have the processing capability to even comprehend that. Alright. Alright, I'm going to bring up what I was going to talk about. Has anybody in chat ever seen Gotham? The TV show Gotham? I'll just leave it at that. I'll wait for everybody to reply. If anybody's even here right now. Alright, kick and get up. I'll get kick. Alright, back to the insanely difficult level. Alright, I'm already in danger. Holy Jesus. Oh, spare my life. Spare it. Spare me. Okay. Oh, God. And there's horrifying archers. I don't even remember what type of archers these are. Oh, right. They're jetpack bow archers. Jetpack bow archers or jetpack archers? I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Okay, the Mark V is dead. Destroyed. Whatever. I think I've seen Gotham, but not sure. Yeah, Gotham is easily the best show DC has put out. I mean, Peacemaker's good too, but DC, absolutely. It is majorly underrated. The acting in that show is fantastic. I mean, it is probably the best acting I've seen in a TV show. No joke. It is amazing. Okay, or actually, I don't know, I've seen some good acting, but it's maybe not like the single best acting. But Corey Michael Smith, Ben McKenzie, they are fantastic in that show, right? Why can't I keep thinking of Samuel Jackson? It's Samuel, what's his name? Plays Mad Hatter. Samuel Benedict Samuel. I was reversing it. Benedict Samuel, dude, he is an amazing actor, and he is not in that much, really. But it's like, his role as Mad Hatter in the what is this? Am I supposed to do something? Oh, I'm supposed to choose between the allies. Oh, I didn't mean to choose these idiots then. They're way worse. Okay, anyways, but Ben McKenzie isn't really in that much, and then neither is Benedict Samuel. But, dude, their roles in Gotham, absolutely fantastic. And then, obviously, because, I mean, they're Batman villains, after all, easily the best villains that I've seen in a TV show, right? I mean, they're very well written, most of them, and they're very threatening, right? Like, Riddler's entire arc, absolutely amazing. I'm talking about in Season 2. He's good in Season 3, but just the way that it's... You know, Season 1 and 2 are meant to be much more realistic, and so it makes it much more appealing because all the villains are believable. You know, Season 3, the beginning of Season 3, it's kind of like that. Like, Mad Hatter is using supernatural abilities, but he's believable in how he does it, right? Like, obviously, his version of hypnosis is not real. You know, somebody can't wave a watch and freaking mind control you and, you know, force you to do whatever they want. That's not how hypnosis works. But the concept of it is like, okay, he is a believable villain, and the way in which the villains are demonstrated is also realistic. Once you get into, like, Season 4, it gets a lot more comic booky, but the show is still great. So, yeah, absolutely a recommendation would be Gotham. And then, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, Peacemaker is also a great DC show. So, I would also recommend that heavily. You know, a funny part about this? I've been talking a lot about TV shows and anime. I haven't even brought up movies, really. Movies are my forte. Absolutely. You'll notice I make a lot of references when I talk, especially in videos. That's why. I am a major movie watcher and show watcher and video game player, right? I'm basically like the typical, you know, shut-in movie geek. The kind of guy that goes to Comic-Con, although I've never actually been to Comic-Con. I want to go, though. I'm hoping I can go this summer. Oh, I assumed he died, but apparently he just lost a leg. You know, it's supposed to be the ally challenge, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of allies. I got one guy over here. It's not a whole lot of help. It's like I'd rather have 10 Mark IIs than 1 Mark V, because that way they can serve as a distraction, you know?
Victory.
I don't know. That's kind of my mentality when it comes to shooter game, or really any video game, is when it comes to allies, I'd rather have a bunch of cannon fodder on my side than, you know, 2 really good people, because then they can serve as a distraction, and then I can, you know, win anyways. But anytime you've got a team that's just too small, then you just get overwhelmed, and it doesn't matter how good they are. I tend to talk a lot on stream, but I think it's more interesting to ramble than it is to just not talk. Alright. Alright, what now? Oh, goody. Oh, God. Mark II jetpack bots. Anything but that. Okay. Oh, he already cut me in half. Oh, back up, brother. There you go. There you go, Mark V. Get in there. Alright. Where's that stupid... Oh, you guys killed her.
Victory.
Nice. Alright. Well, looks like I win again. It was all me. Definitely mine. I'm gonna do the robot dance now. Alright. Let's see what we got. Shield bash. I mean, I don't really need that kind of thing. I could also get armor. I don't know. I'll get energy capacity. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Glad to see you here. We are just about to wrap up Jesus, I just choked or belched on something. We're about to wrap up the final single-player challenges, then we're going to move on to the co-op challenges. Not that I have anybody to play them with, I'm just going to solo the co-ops. Try to, at least. Oh, God, not me, you oh. Okay, well that confirms my suspicion. There is friendly fire. That's good to know. Oh God, aren't you my ally? What are you trying to kill me for? We all saw that thing actively aim at me and then try to kill me with that. Kill her, not me. I think the worst part about having a teammate is that you have to worry about your teammate killing you. That's the worst part about Helldivers 2, is that I'd honestly just rather not have a team or have a team that's extremely distant, because I don't trust them not to kill me. Come here. Got a little something between the eyes. Oh man, it's spraying fire at me. Kill this thing. There you go. There you go. One-on-one. You got it. Good. Very good. Indeed. That's the last of the single-player challenges, fellas. Got them done. Now we're on to co-op. Isn't it incredible that I've only gotten 37% of the achievements in this game? That is absolutely ridiculous. Alright, co-op challenges. Let's do this. I could do a public game, but we're not going to do that. We're hardcore. Alright, let's see. I do want to try to unlock some stuff. So we got the kick-only challenge, co-op edition, endless spear challenge. Can we get to Insanium using only a spear? I think we can. I think we should try it. This is probably going to be the challenge that lasts the stream. Also, just so you guys know, I basically never sleep, so I could probably run this stream till like 1 a.m. and nothing would change. Will I do that? Probably not, but I don't know. If you guys are really entertained, I could. Friendly fire? Not like anybody's here anyways. Alright, also, yes, I do enjoy playing as a spear bot, so I fit the role. Start match. Funny, there's another upgrade bot here. For who exactly? Nobody. The answer is, oh, right. Also, the worst part about playing co-op challenges, especially solo, is that team revivals take 2 upgrade points, and you're limited to 3 of them. I'm glad you're still here, Pedro. I enjoy having, like, if I have one person still watching, that's good enough for me. Because I don't, you know, obviously if I'm talking to nobody, then that just flat out sucks. And then if I'm talking to 60 people, I'd be fine with that, but that's not exactly a realistic expectation, given my channel size. Heck, I mean, I was watching Sylvanas earlier, and he's got 1.4 million subscribers. He had 67 people in his stream, including me. So, you know, like, obviously I'm not expecting a freaking stadium, but one other person is fine by me completely. Alright, let's see. Yeah, so getting team revivals are going to be my lifeline, although it's going to be extremely difficult to sustain those. So I'm just going to try to not die, which is easier said than done in this game, but, you know. Also, this is the spear-only challenge, so archers are my worst nightmare. Although the spear is my best weapon, as I've mentioned, so it's less of a concern. Alright. Okay. I'm just gonna keep mowing through these levels. Feel free to bring up a topic at complete random. It could be literally anything besides, like, what bar do you drink at or something, because, you know, I don't drink. But, I don't know. So, something besides that would be, like, you know, any topic is fine. Oh, they're dead. Alright, fellas, one at a time. Alright, good job.
Victory.
I wonder, not that there's rankings in this game, I don't think, but I wonder where I would rank if compared to other players. Because I definitely know that I'm not average or below in terms of skill in this game. I mean, I've reached Insanium tier solo multiple times, but I also don't know, like I'm clearly not the best player at this game, because that would require somebody who plays almost only this, which obviously I play. If there's one thing I pride myself on in terms of video games, it's the fact that I can rotate between over 70 different games and be good at like 50 of them. So, alright. He's dead. What the? I like how I talk that smack and then immediately get killed. That's what we call karma right there. That's why I should just keep my blabbering mouth shut. Alright. I'm gonna stop being like, yes, I am the best in the land, and then immediately get killed. Honestly, that was deserved. Alright. I'm on to the bronze tier. Alright.
Victory.
Let's see. I'll just get kicked like usual. I want to get up first, and then I want to get the flame spear, and then I want to go. I mean, it's easy to get all the upgrades in this challenge. So then once I get that, I'm going to try to get the team revives, and then just objective survive is pretty much it from there. So alright, wait, that was it? Oh, okay. Anybody in chat got anything? Any ideas? Subjects? Places or things? Ideas of a certain variety. Anything of the sort. Well, I feel like the first question out of somebody's mouth is going to be like, Pedro over here is going to be like, hey, do you smoke crack? That's the first thing he's going to ask. Well, I'm just going to awkwardly sit there. If I stare at my screen long enough, it'll be confirmed on YouTube to be like the biggest controversy since, I don't know, EDP. I don't know what's going on. I mean, there's definitely bigger controversies that are more recent, but, you know, I don't know. You know, knowing the internet, somebody smoking crack probably isn't, you know, the biggest deal. Honestly, that would probably be the last of somebody's concern. Here's something Mario? I'm afraid. Oh god, it's multiplayer. Right, I can't pause the game. I went to pause it to look at the chat and then immediately got kicked in the face. Okay, luckily I was on the elevator, so the kickbots can't actually do anything to you. Alright, let me kill these things. I'm afraid I don't know what you mean by here's something Mario. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's code for something. Like a CIA agent. Or maybe it's a hostage situation. Yeah, like a 5-year-old situation. Yeah, blink twice if you're being held in, I don't know, Pakistan. Alright.
Victory.
Alright. It's weird seeing the subtitles, but not actually hearing them talk. I turned off their dialogue because I got really sick of every single time I'd go to say something, the freaking commenters would keep talking. You know, like the announcers in this game. Alright. Oh, Jesus Christ. I almost just got molly-whopped by a hammer. Okay. Oh, alright. Hammer bots are definitely some of the most annoying, because one wrong move and it's dead. Blinks twice. Oh, crap. Look, man. Maybe, like, try to captors, you know, don't give them too much, though. Let's see. Code words. Read the religious text. It is the text, the one and the only. We will send you, is it $20,000? $20 million in ransom, donation money to charity. Indeed, yes, charity they'll enjoy the money. I very well expect that they'll enjoy it. Is this working? Is it working? Pedro, you okay? I feel like it's working. I think they'll let you go soon. I don't know. It'd be funny. Maybe you're like you are the leader of the group. You're just blinking twice to get the funds there anyways. You're all in on it. It's kind of like Elsa in Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade. Yeah. Well, she's one of them. What? Alright. Spidertron 5000. I'm gonna jump over there, poke it in the face, and then get done with this level. Poke. That wasn't Spidertron 5000. I just decided to kill that random bot. Help. I'm sorry, Pedro. There's not much I can do. It's kind of fun. Every time I think of the name Pedro, I think of Spider-Man Homecoming with Vulture. That's what he kept calling Peter. I know, it's very random. I think in terms of movie references, so don't blame me too much. If you need help, there's not a... Wait, it's working? Is it working? I mean, I don't have $20 million, but maybe if I hope hard enough, it'll be, you know, designated to him. Maybe China will send it to him. We'll enjoy their funds. Jesus, I cannot hit this guy. It's kind of funny thinking about my videos, because I'm like, I always think, every time somebody brings something up, I'm like, have I made a video about that? I'm like, I guess I have. If there's one thing my content includes, it's variety. I've done all kinds of things. I've done AI Trump voice, I've done, you know, anime commentary, I've done freaking video game reviews, Gmod role-playing, random horror streams. I mean, if you think of it, I'm sure I can either do it or try to do it. Everything besides, like, OnlyFans feet crap or something, you know? I'm not doing that. You're never gonna click on the Everyman's channel, see a Patreon page, and that's the first link, you know, something like that. That's never happening. I don't know, maybe if I click on your channel, Pedro, that's the first thing I'm gonna see. Okay. Die, please. Oh, okay, almost got shot. Almost got burned. Almost got my head cleaved off and then kicked in the face, and everything's horrible, everything's nightmarish. Get me out of here. Alright. Just remember, one wrong move, and it's over. It is all over for me. Because we're running on freaking team revives, of which I have none. You said it was working, Pedro, and now there's nothing. I'm just gonna assume you're dead. It's okay. You'll be I almost just got stabbed by a guy that was supposed to be dead, but it's okay. That happens more than once, believe it or not. One word. Demons. Yeah, I've killed a lot of those in my time. Can't say it was fun. Matter of fact, it was absolutely miserable, but we made it through it. I think there were worse things too, like, you know, like Freddy Fazbear camping outside my right door. Or what else have I had? I've been chased down by the Rake, which relies on sound to hunt. I mean, I've been chased down by Bigfoot, which for whatever reason is basically invincible. That's a whole video series of mine. What else? Chuck E. Cheese has tried to kill me multiple times. In multiple universes, might I add. multiple universes. I've been, there was Chuck E. Cheese in prison, and then there was Chunky Cheese Whiz, okay, in Striker Team. I've got a lot of crap that I've had in my videos. It's been problematic. First, I don't have a channel, and second, they're taking me to a place called Nurka Alligator. I really hope I didn't just read that and it's some sort of like slur and I didn't know it was, or I don't know, man. I alligator? They're taking you to a place called what? Are you sure they're not just like, I don't know, making it up? There's clearly some sort of joke I'm not getting. Or maybe it's very obvious and I'm just not realizing it. I don't know. I'm kind of like what you'd call, I don't know. Maybe that's not the right word. I was gonna say like an intellectual idiot. Where I'm like hyper intelligent in some subjects and then just somehow a complete moron in others. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Oh, God. I just got slammed against the wall by a giant hammer. This is going to be a long challenge. I turned around and immediately got my face bashed in. That was great. I kind of want to do a short film or something where I'm like being held. Maybe I could do on Gmod. I could do a role-playing video where I'm being held, hostage. Oh, what could I do with that? They take me to like some rant. Or actually, I've done a video about that, but it's a really old one and the quality's terrible. So, you know. But I don't know. I'm also wanting to do more videos with my buddy Connor. He's been in 2 videos so far. He was in the Phasmophobia video that I did in my channel. And then he was also in the video where me and him make fun of a bunch of like weird names that we looked up on Google. So it was a list of uncommon names, and we made fun of a bunch of them. It was a fun video. He was also falling asleep during it. Although I'm not really sure if you can tell in the video. Like, he stops talking at certain points, and it's just me talking, and then he just doesn't reply for a little bit, and then he does at some points. So, I don't know. But I'm hoping to get him into more videos. And, yeah, we can start doing some role-playing and stuff. That'd be funny. I've already got, like, a boot camp one planned out and everything. It's funny, I've got all these videos, and I even record a ton of videos, but then editing takes forever, because sometimes editing just takes a long time, and most of the time it's just because editing is a hassle. I almost said most of the time again. That would have been redundant. Alright. Oh, multiplayer. I almost paused to check the chat, and then realized that would have been a mistake. Okay. I'll wait till I get down and out. Really? That guy's still alive? Alright. Come here. Why am I swinging slower? Okay. That's weird. Come here, I'll poke you with this. There you go. He's dead. Okay. Never mind, they're taking me to Nachitoshi's Alligator Park. Excuse me for a second. Nachito Gator Park. Huh. So, Pedro, yeah, this is in Louisiana? Not Pakistan. Yeah, I was under the impression you were kidnapped by a terrorist organization or something, or maybe you were a military target, or maybe you just got caught in the wrong place, wrong time, or maybe you were a Christian tourist, something like that, or Hindu. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, but it seems you're being held in Louisiana, and now I think that this is a little bit of a different issue. Or maybe you just like looked up a place on Google Maps. That's where you found, and it just happens to be in Louisiana. I don't know. It's probably not that. I'm just overthinking it. Oh, I know. Well, I guess I didn't, Pedro. I'm not the one being held. You know, I'm getting serious deja vu. Maybe you're not the... They're making me walk there by foot. And what are they escorting you with? Are they like driving? They're driving by your side, but they force you to walk anyways. So they're just slowly driving, burning gas as you walk there? Or are they also walking on foot? In which case, I don't know why they would force themselves to do that, but I don't know. Who knows? Who knows why they did? Anyways, I was getting serious deja vu because I feel like I've done this with a viewer before. Maybe it was you, where it was some sort of hostage situation. I negotiated it or was trying to ask like what their location was where they were being held. I don't know. I have a feeling it was you, but I'm not really sure. Maybe it was I don't know, it was you or it was that Ukrainian kid that came into my chat when I was playing SCP Observer. It was one of the two. I know that there's a very, very big distinction there, but, you know, I don't know. There's diversity on YouTube. Alright. Come up here, you clowns. Get a piece of this. I am the superior spear bot. I will destroy you all. My beautiful mint coloration. I make the best tea, and you make the best skewer. There we go. It'd be funny to be like, you're held hostage, and they're driving by your side with like Humvees or something. And then, or even better, they're on ATVs, and then they're forcing you to walk, and they're just holding you at gunpoint the whole time. That'd be funny. I'd pay to see that. No, they put a gun. They put I guess, a shot collar on me to put me in check. So how are they watching over you? Is there like a body camera or something they're watching, or is there some guy by your side, or like how's that work? You're really having to come up with this scenario. Oh God! Okay, that was close. All right, business bot's destroyed. Carry on. Jetpack bots with fire hammers. Here we go. Energy capacity. Yeah, I'll do that. A body camera. Okay. I'm feeding you the details to your own story. I tend to do that. I mean, you can probably tell, but the majority of my videos are improvised significantly. Okay, technically they're completely improvised, but more in the sense of like I don't have a script, but I do come up with a general idea of the video before I do it and like the direction it's gonna go in, right? So like Squidward Prison Life, I come up with like jokes and things ahead of time, but I don't actually have a script. So like everything that occurs in it, especially action-wise, is not according to a script or anything. It is all, you know, happening just with the flow, right? Which most people suggest making a script. I don't like scripts. I think that they majorly inhibit creativity, and they're much too limited. Now, in a few videos, actually not a few, in like 2 videos I have had a script, but they were more like, I guess what you'd call like documentary style videos. So it's like me reviewing something, I think. I actually don't know what videos I've done a script for. I've done it in 1 or 2 of them, but they weren't when I was playing video games. It was when I was like reviewing something or talking about something. It was some topic, I don't remember. But yeah, my channel is not very large, but I do have like 136 videos, so it's kind of hard to remember, you know, when I've done what or what I have and haven't done. Now, the more entertaining videos that are in like series and things, I can remember those just fine, but I can't remember, the more isolated random videos. Like, I know I made an entire video on bad video game endings, and I spent the entire latter half of it basically complaining about Doki Doki Literature Club. That was hilarious. But ooh, okay. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to survive this level. I'm gonna save up for a team revive because we're too far in for me to just give that up. All right, here we go. Alright. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. And that guy killed himself. Okay. Sweating done. Moving on. Suppose while we have time here, I'm going to come up with questions and things, I guess. A little bit of interaction. What kind of video games you play, Pedro? For me, most of the games that are, or not most, not even close to most. A decent number of the games that I play on my channel are games that I play a decent amount. And then, what else? Pretty much, like, if I play a game, I'm probably going to reference it at some point. Or have some, really? I just got scoped out of midair. Ow! Really? Okay. He just had his hammer out in my face for that. So that's one life down. I got 2 more to go. Well, technically 3 more to go. But, alright. Well, I'm glad I got that team revived then. But, yeah, I play a large variety of games. On Xbox, I have over 70 different games that I play actively. And that's just including the ones that are currently downloaded. And then on laptop, I have like 30-something games that I play generally. And then some that I haven't played yet. So, yeah, now I've recorded a decent number of the laptop games, but also, I call them PC games, but laptop is what I'm doing it on, but it's it's computer games, it's not, although technically an Xbox is a computer or a console, it's just not the computer in the traditional sense. Same way people say technology, well, technology encompasses any sort of advancement that assists you, but people usually refer to electronics as technology, quote unquote. It's the same thing. Alright. PlayStation, computer, and App Store games. Interesting. PlayStation, yeah, I've always been an Xbox player. I've never played on a PlayStation. Actually, I have twice, but it was just a game that I've played on Xbox anyways. Computer, self-explanatory. App Store games. What kind of games you playing on the App Store? I was actually playing, while I was waiting for something, I was playing BioInk Redemption on my phone earlier. It's a pretty fun game. I mean, it's like, it's majorly messed up in the death campaign. It's like 1 minute somebody's totally healthy and, maybe they're a little bit overweight, but it's no big deal. And then boom, next minute cervical cancer, skin cancer, cirrhosis, everything you can possibly imagine, you just gave them. Holy Jesus, my crotch just got burned off. Good thing I'm a robot, or I would be feeling that. Well, I mean, I'm technically a human, but it's a human mind or human consciousness in a robot's body, so not really. Alright. Spidertron 6000 down. Alright. Plants vs. Zombies Heroes and Plants vs. Zombies 2. I actually haven't played either of those. I really wanted to play Plants vs. Zombies 2 because I remember I played the original back on my Kindle. I was like 8 years ago or something. How old am I? Yeah, I was like 8 years ago. And yeah, I mean, I was actually really upset because I thought Crazy Dave got killed by that Bungie zombie in the first game, but he didn't die, so the world was safe once again. Dude, Dr. Zomboss, that fight sucked in the original game. I remember having to do that. I had to retry that over and over again. I raged so hard. I actually haven't brought this up in a video yet, but I've actually snapped a video game disc in half. And the game that I did it in was Garden Warfare 1 on Xbox 360. I snapped the disc in half because I got so mad at multiplayer. It was really fun. It was one of those moments where you do it in a fit of rage, and then you're, upset about it afterwards. Like, what have I done? It's the equivalent of like killing a person. You just killed your baby, except it was, a multiplayer disc, or the disc for a game because of the multiplayer. I mean, it wasn't a huge deal, but yeah, it was pretty funny, honestly. Just like I snapped a game disc in half. I don't know. People have done worse for less. So, people have smashed their entire freaking Xbox for stupid reasons, or their computer. Oh God, my leg! Not the leg, man. God, now I'm gonna have to invest in a jetpack and car insurance. Don't ask why I need car insurance for a lost leg. It's just, it's how things go. I'm gonna need to buy Obamacare. What else am I gonna need? All kinds of stuff. I mean, everything you can imagine. I'm gonna need it all. Missing leg. Jesus, what's a man to get a jetpack out here? You clowns. Jeez. But yeah. I also something weird happened with my Xbox. I think it was an Xbox One when I was playing the original Modern Warfare 3. The one from 2011. I was playing that, and my disc got like majorly scratched up. I don't know how it happened, but that sucked too. So I had to rebuy the game digitally. I'm probably like one of the. Okay, I'm not gonna say one of the only, but one of the only people I know that still uses game discs for most games console-wise. Because most people have just gone full digital, especially with like Game Pass and such. Which, by the way, Game Pass, I mean, once you get it, it's just, the loan sharks will ensure that you keep getting it for the rest of your life, because you will never own a game. I don't know. Is there a PlayStation Pass? I don't know. Maybe not. I could have sworn there was something like Game Pass on PlayStation. Oh, God. Okay. Bro, this Flame Raptor keeps spamming that. They don't usually use it this much. Oh, there he goes again! Is he down? Die. Alright, got him. Victory. Alright. A little lag. Whew. Okay. Energy recharge. I'll do speed. I'm not going to do speed. I'm just increasing my speed. That was not a methamphetamine reference. There's a PlayStation Pass, but it's called Plus. Oh, that's nice. Do you have the Plus or no? Come here. Alright. Ow. Victory. While you reply to that, I'm just gonna randomly bring up probably the most difficult thing in this entire game is Chapter 1 and 2 of Story Mode on Insane Difficulty. Because you have no upgrades, and all of the enemies are turned up to like Mark IV variants. It is basically impossible. It is gonorrhea to play it. It is absolutely... You would actually rather have syphilis than to play through it. It is ridiculous. But, yeah, because I've beaten Chapter 3, 4, and 5 on Insane Difficulty. Chapter 1 and 2, can't do it. There's no upgrades, no chance. And there's no mind transfer either, so there's no advantage of that. Because, like, if you're playing on Insane Difficulty and you have the mind transfer, then all of the hard difficulty enemies make it easier, you know? Because then you can get killed by them, transfer into their consciousness, and then boom, you're playing as a Mark V sword bot or something. You know? I do the plus, put most of the time it's stupid. Yeah, I've heard PlayStation has some weird stuff with, I mean, really everything. So, I mean, that's kind of why I stick with Xbox. But I've been playing a lot less Xbox recently because I've started to lean more toward PC, but I still play on Xbox, obviously. Right? Like, I'm still playing Fallout 4 on Xbox One. And then, what else? I'll do, like, Master Chief Collection. Welcome to the chat. I think there's a new person here. I also do, what else? I play Stellaris on there, or Stellaris, as some people word it. I don't know how it's pronounced, Stellaris or Stellaris. But, because I've heard it said both ways. But, yeah, potato. But I've been playing that on there. Obviously, I've got a bunch of different games. Stupid.
Clone activated.
I have to leave again? Okay. I mean, take your time. If you come back, then yeah, I'll see you soon. Dude, I've been killed by a Mark III Hammerbot every single death. Every death has been to a Mark III I wasn't looking at my screen, and I just ended an 18-level run instantaneously. We're gonna try one of the easier ones. I'd like to make a little bit of progress. Not embarrass myself too badly. Co-op challenges, okay. Let's see. Could do the zombie challenge again, but I don't really know about that. Flame Raptors. God, not the random upgrade challenge here. That'd be terrible. That's weird. The laser challenge gets you the Mark III bow. Okay. That's kind of odd. Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to do the kick challenge. Kick, yeah. Besides that, I like the Kickbot skin the most anyways. It's not even a skin, because it actually affects gameplay somewhat, so I prefer playing as a Kickbot the most. Just because it looks the coolest, and it's also kind of hard to hit them. I'm going to switch my character appearance. Let's do Mark II Swordbot next. What happened when I was gone? Literally nothing new. Wait, I was just what? Oh, I went to get an upgrade and then nothing. Okay, that's weird. So we're doing the kick-only challenge, the co-op kick-only challenge. So it's still more difficult than the normal one, but not really by much. So it's pretty much the exact same premise. So we're gonna get the Kickbot armor. Or Kickbot variant to play as. Alrighty. Let's see. I'm going to get energy capacity. And then next round, I'm going to get up. Alright. Kick. Kick. And kick. Alright, fellas, let's all jump in the pit. There we go, one at a time. Well, you can do it. There you go. Good job. Mr. Buzzsaw, hello. Good to see a new face in here. And then Pedro is also greeting you hello. Who is still alive? Oh my god. Alright, you clown. Let's get this over with. Jump in here. There you go. You can do it. Alright, he's dead. Okay. How's everybody doing in chat? I've already asked Pedro that. He said he was kidnapped and I guess he's being dragged to some alligator park in Louisiana or something. I don't know, man. That's what he said. So I'm assuming Mr. Buzzsaw here is not experiencing some sort of weird cartel or I don't know, criminal organization or terrorist group, or I don't know, whatever's going on with Pedro, what is happening right now in the game, or about Pedro, because I can't answer one of those and I can't answer the other. Alright. Kick that. Now, okay, I guess I'll just explain both. So, in terms of the game I'm playing, oh wait, never mind, you were correcting your grammar. I thought that was some sort of emphasis. Ow, God, my face. Come on, this face is too pretty to get kicked. I know, it's not really organic, it's, you know, mechanized. I don't even know what they make these machines out of anyways. Alright, come here. There you go. Get in the saws. This is going to be interesting. Oh, with Pedro? Oh, I have no idea. He's getting dragged by terrorists or something in Louisiana. Some alligator park or something. I have no idea. He said that they have a shot collar around him. I said blink twice if he needs help. He blinked twice. I was like, oh, okay, well, that sucks. So anyways, we had some sort of discussion about, like, sending them $20 million in ransom money. I don't know, man. I just, like, I make anime content on YouTube and post it and, you know, talk that bullcrap. I don't know. I don't deal with hostage negotiations or nothing, so this isn't really my forte. I also play video games and yell a lot, so I don't really know. Bro, can this thing die already? I'm just gonna jump into the spikes. Kill me! Kill me, my friend. I said spikes, I meant saw blades. Kill me. It is for your own good. Please, just die already. Anything. Literally just kill this. Oh, God, my arm. My arm. Oh, God. Ow. Okay, Guys, did you see that? I died, but because the round ended, it employed the co-op rule of... Okay, so basically, because it's co-op, if your teammate survives and one of you dies, then the other person respawns, but they don't have an upgrade point. So I just died, but I respawned because the round just ended. So, I mean, that it sucks because I don't get an upgrade point, but I actually just would have had to restart anyways if I didn't. So that's lucky. It's kind of like 6 a.m. happening when Foxy jump scares you. You know, glitches the game out. Okay. Alright, you morons, kill each other, and let's get this over with. Oh, it's swing. Swing for the fences. There you go. That's one arm down. Doing such a good job. There you go, fellas. That's what I'm talking about. Wow, you guys died stupidly, too. Let's just say I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. That was crazy. Yeah. Oh, there's another new person in here. What's up? I'm guessing... What's the next guy is gonna be like Pedo Bear or something? I don't know. That's the kind of thing I assume name-wise that pops up. What's the worst name I had in stream before? One guy was named Glock, and he kept trying to I think he was trying to dox me, but it wasn't working. I don't know. And then there was some other guy. I don't even remember his name. It was something weird. I remember commenting on it. I don't know. It's just another day at the office, really. Another day at the foot-infested, I'm gonna kick you into some spikes office. Which reminds me earlier, Pedro, you wanna share that link? You know the link. You know which one I'm talking about. I'm just kidding. I'm throwing Pedro under the bus. I made a joke earlier, and it was about Pedro having some sort of... Oh, hang on. Okay, I almost died. I made a joke earlier, something about opening an OnlyFans, and I joked to Pedro and said that he probably has a YouTube channel, and that's the first result. Well, I have to go right now. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'll see you next time then, Mr. Buzzsaw. It's good to see you. Or I guess it was good to see you if it's past tense. See you guys later. See you later. I almost butchered your name, so I just stopped myself from saying see you later, Mr. Buzzsaw. I don't even know what I was gonna say. It was probably gonna be something real stupid, like, I don't know. What was it gonna be? I thought of Buzz Lightyear, I think I was gonna say something related to that, and then I just stopped myself. I don't know. Alright, get in there. You can do it. Kick, kick. There you go. Alright. Mission accomplished. Alrighty. Next up on the chopping block is the duck level that I hate. Okay, well, here we go. I mean, really all I can get is energy capacity, so that's what I'm going with. Alright, let's see. Kick. There you go. That's one dead. And... Ow, God, my body! I just got stabbed like 80 times by spikes. Oh, I feel like a pincushion now. Stay away from me, you fiends. You know, I would get power kick, but sometimes it's actually advantageous to just have the normal kick ability. So I prefer to just keep it as it is. Oh, it's kind of situational, but the situation is usually never in your favor. Alright. Back up. There you go. Kill this man! Kill him! He's not meant to be here. Oh, never mind. He killed himself. Kinda. I mean, he rolled into the spikes, so I'd say that constitutes as killing himself. Okay. Let's not get killed by the Mark III hammer bot like we have every single round up until this point. Oh, God, no. Okay. I saw my life flash before my eyes. Alright, let's do this. Come on, big shot. Get down here. That's one dead. Never mind. He's still alive somehow. Bro, how is that guy alive? You have one arm, one leg, and no ball gun. Every round, it's a Mark III hammer bot. This thing is the bane of my existence. I even brought up earlier how these things are freaking one of my least favorite enemies in all of gaming. One wrong move and your entire body gets crushed to dust. It's grinded up like a smoothie at freaking Panera. Alright. Kick. Oh, I missed. That was nice. Alright. Damn. That's all there is to say. It's just damn. All right. Kick. All right. Go ahead, fellas. There you go. Jump in the pit. That's my favorite thing for you to do. There you go. Good, guys. You've done a good job. Treats for everyone. They're all dead. Okay. Alright. Next up, same level that took me forever. Alright. Get the energy upgrade. Alrighty. Doing my stretches, I guess. Oh, okay. Oh, sweet, Kickbot died. Alright, don't have to worry about that scumbag. Alright, nice. Pedro, I have a specific task for you. Look up conversation starters online. See what you can find. I'm sure there are some absolutely terrible ones on there. One of them's gonna be like, where did you find your ID at work or something? Something so hyper specific and random that's just unbelievable that you even think to say that. Oh, jeez. Come on, get... Oh! Okay, almost got caught off guard. Come on. There you go. Roll back into the lava. Good work. Okay, will do. There you go, Pedro. He's gonna come up with, like, what's your favorite activity on the 4th of July or something. It's like he's gonna look up questions for rednecks or something. Like, well, I usually drink whiskey on the 9th, but, you know, I don't really know. Sometimes I don't do it. Man, my accent work is not good today. Sometimes I can do, like, perfect accents, and then other times I cannot do voiceovers. Oh, God. Okay, I almost got crushed by another freaking hammer bot. Here we got one hang on. Here we go. I like this one. Oh, okay. Close enough to what you said. But I read the full thing afterward. But alright, we got jetpack bots. Alright, fellas, jump into the fire. Let's get it started. DC or Marvel? DC. I mean, DC has some bad stuff, but Marvel has definitely done way worse in recent times. Do you see that new Ironheart show that's coming out? That's pretty funny. It's kind of amusing to see, like, some Marvel stuff is godly, and then some stuff is just utter garbage. So it's pretty funny. DC's a little more consistent with it. You know, it's like some stuff DC has is kind of just meh, and then other stuff is just heavenly. Why? I mean, there's a lot of things. Oh, welcome to the chat, people. I see there's 1 or 2 new people in here. But yeah, I just think DC has a lot better stuff. Obviously, I mentioned, you know, I praised Gotham earlier. That's one. I think that DC has much more interesting villains. Now, there are some exceptions. Like, I think Ultron's a great villain. But villains like Thanos, I'm just not a fan of. And then, you know, some characters are just kind of, you know, whatever. I prefer both, but more DC. You prefer both. I think you mean you like both, but you prefer DC. Yeah, I mean, I don't really mind, like, I'm not hypercritical of one or the other. So somebody says, like, oh, I like Marvel or I like DC, I'm not gonna be like, you like Marvel? You're one of those Iron Man fanboys, aren't you? You know, like, I'm not gonna do something like that online. What I will say, though, every stream I find has games I had never seen before. Welcome to the world of video game streaming. I sit here and I ramble about stupid stuff, and I spend time talking about anime. I spent like 20 minutes doing that earlier. I'm still waiting for this freaking sword bot to fall into the lava. I've been trying to bait him over here. Go ahead, you can do it. Right now I'm doing the kick-only challenge in Clone Drone in the Danger Zone. So... And I'm doing it on co-op, so it's actually more difficult than the single-player version. There you go. Oh, God. We got a one-legged wonder over here, so I got to corral him into the fire. Alright, there you go. You can do it. One more kick. God, okay. What's your favorite villain from both DC and Marvel? Ooh, that is a good question. Okay. Let's see. Favorite DC villain? Probably Riddler. Because, I mean, a lot of reasons. Obviously I mentioned Gotham. He's the best character in that. The Batman definitely made Riddler a cool villain because, you know, he's more of a serial killer in the way that is more threatening. You know, he can be goofy in comic book iterations, but I find that a lot of his more live-action iterations, besides Jim Carrey, of course, are a lot more serious, and I like that a lot. In terms of Marvel... I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. I think Ultron is definitely the most... He's one of the more realistic Marvel villains. Like, his entire motivation is what you would expect of a super intelligent being, right? Or a being that is known as a super intelligence, right? So something that far surpasses human intellect, that can think for itself. I think he's the perfect example of that, right? Because his entire thing is he's a construct designed to protect the planet his design is not save humanity in the sense of like help humanity for their goals. It's more of like save humanity. Well, you save it by destroying it, right? So I think that makes Ultron definitely a cooler villain. I would say Zemo, but Zemo is more of an anti-hero. Oh, but I guess that includes X-Men too. I don't know. I'm much more a fan of X-Men than like the traditional MCU stuff. I don't know. I mean, Stryker's a cool villain, but it depends on the interpretation of him. Civil War era is Marvel. It is absolutely picky. It is the best era of Marvel. Civil War is easily my favorite Marvel movie. Absolutely, hands down, right? I'd say like 2016, 2017, those 2 years, absolutely amazing Marvel movies. Because you had 2015, you had Age of Ultron. 2016, you had Civil War. 2017, you had Spider-Man Homecoming. Those were easily the best movies. All that stuff before Infinity War was great. And then Infinity War, I actually hated it when it came out. And then I had rewatched it a lot. And I found that I liked the movie whenever Thanos wasn't on screen. I know. But a real villain for Marvel is... oh, I did read that right. Okay, Graviton. I actually don't know Graviton. What else? Well, Ghost Rider really isn't a villain for me. Yeah, Ghost Rider is more of an anti-hero. Okay, he's technically a hero, but he borders more on being an anti-hero. I really like Ghost Rider. I wasn't allowed to watch Ghost Rider until I was like 10, which is funny because I had watched way worse movies before Ghost Rider, right? Like, I had watched multiple of the Saw movies. I had watched all of the Alien movies. I'd watched Alien vs. Predator Requiem, okay? One of the goriest movies. So, yeah. Oh, you have to go now? Well, it's been nice talking to you, Pedro, and it's especially been nice having a live audience here. I really appreciate all the stuff that we've, talked about and all the stuff I've brought up. It feels good to have somebody there. So, tune into the next stream, and I'll see you next time, Pedro. See you guys in the next stream. See you next time. I'm not sure if I'm going to stream tomorrow or not. Actually, no, I can't do tomorrow. I said that earlier. I'll see if I can do Sunday. But, yeah. But, yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch Ghost Rider until I was 10. For whatever... I just lost my legs. I just lost my one weapon against the enemies. Every time I, like, shift my attention away, I start rambling, and then I get caught up in what I'm talking about, and then I die. I don't know. I'd rather, have a conversation than win, so... I've done plenty of winning today. I've completed 3 challenges, so... Yeah. But... Yeah, I'd watched freaking AVP Requiem, which is one of the goriest movies of all time. And then I had watched freaking all the other Alien movies. I'd watched Saw, but I couldn't watch Ghost Rider. Like, really? That's where we drew the line? I don't know. So, anyways, I watched that, and that was... it was a decent movie. It's a Nick Cage movie. But, it's still kind of, like, corny 90s, early 2000s style movie, I always used to see that at Blockbuster, though, when I'd go by. I'd walk in the aisles, and I'd see Ghost Rider every time. That and, like, cheap horror movies. Not, like, the really good horror movies like Scream or Alien. It was always, like, cheap B horror movies. Have you played the new Helldivers 2 update? Dude, new Helldivers 2 update is... It's insane. Super Earth getting invaded was already not expected by me at all. Like, I was thinking they were at least going to finish off capturing the, whatever the nearest solar system is. Or not solar system, sector. But, they just went straight for Super Earth. I don't know. The Leviathans are clearly ripped from the Avengers. Like, everyone knows it, right? It's even named the same thing. And its functionality is the same, too. But I think those are alright. My problem is the Illuminate Overseers, the Elevated Overseers, dude, they do way too much damage. And they like, have aimbot every time I fight them. but I mean, it's not too bad. I went an entire extreme difficulty campaign without dying once. So that was 3 missions without dying. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. They did. All the Widow's Harbor sectors were captured. There's 2 planets in that sector that aren't captured. Or maybe they are by now. I don't know. Maybe they went back and did them. But I know that 3 of them are captured. I don't know about the other 2. I would say the ones that are far north, but of course it's space, so, you know, there's no such thing as north. Alright. Come on. I mean, there's like the North Star, quote unquote, but that's not north, you know, relative to space itself. Alright, come on, jetpack bot, you got this. There you go. What? He got up in the fire. Come on. They didn't have to? Oh, I know that they didn't have to. I just thought that Arrowhead was going to delay as long as possible before doing it. I mean, you know how they are. So, you know, sometimes they take forever to update the game, and then sometimes they do it in freaking waves. So, I didn't know if they were going to drag it out as long as possible. I'm not sure how much SpongeBob you've watched, but it pretty much, Arrowhead reminds me of the we threw out his name scene where SpongeBob's entire brain is on fire and everybody's scrambling to grab files. That's like them updating the game last minute, and they're all trying to code stuff in, and they're just panicking and throwing stuff together. That's how it is sometimes. Yeah, one sec. I'm trying to kill this guy, and then I can look at the chat. Come on. You got this. I believe in you. Just get in the freaking lava. There we go. Alright. Victory. Okay. I was there. They did not have to. They were not in the way. They beelined it to Super Earth. Yeah. I call the Flesh Mob Flesh Bob No Pants. Pretty much, yeah. I actually watched a guy. He did a no stim, no death run on Super Helldive difficulty on Super Earth. And one thing one guy noticed that I thought was interesting was not one flesh mob spawned, the entire time. So that's pretty weird. The guy had everything. He had stingrays, he had overseers, he had, obviously tons of voteless. He had harvester, or he had like 1 or 2 harvester, but he had no flesh mobs. And he was on Super Helldive difficulty. So I think that was kind of interesting. The guy did it no stims, so I don't know, maybe there was a little bit of cheating involved or something, but I'm not gonna like immediately jump to, oh, he was cheating. It had to be that, you know. I don't know. I think the flesh mobs are I think they're a well-designed enemy compared to the other Illuminate enemies. I just died to a shot barely grazing my leg. Okay. I actually mentioned this earlier in the stream. I don't remember when I mentioned it, but I mentioned that Helldivers 2, I find the game fun, but the enemies, some of my least favorite enemies in all of gaming, are pretty much every enemy in Helldivers 2, right? From the Stalkers, to the freaking Automaton Devastators, to the Illuminate Overseers, pretty much everything in the game, I find to be some of the most frustrating enemies to fight in all of gaming. Right up there with like the snipers in Payday 2. Alright, hang on. It's a tense moment. I don't have any lives left, so I gotta be careful here. Well, that thing is walking on... Come on, we got this. There we go. It's taking a little bit to register. I don't know. What's your least favorite enemy in Helldivers 2? And then what's your favorite enemy to fight? I'd say my favorite enemy to fight is probably... I'd say... Warriors? Yeah. I mean, they're like the perfect balance of a quantity enemy that isn't too overwhelming. You know, they don't do too much damage. They don't take too long to kill. There's tons of them. You know, it's much more Starship Troopers like than the freaking hunters and crap, which kill you immediately and are everywhere. I think the warriors are one of the only, like, normal enemies in the game. And then you got crap like, you know, harvesters that just blow a beam into you and you're dead. Or worse, chargers that are like 3,000 pounds and somehow can sneak up on you without making a noise. It's like you think some massive elephant-sized freaking bug with heavy armor would make a noise when it's walking up behind you, but apparently not. You'd be surprised of how stealthy they are. Alright. There you go, fellas. Just gonna hug the wall. You guys are all gonna die on the wall, and it's all gonna be a good time. There we go. Co-op challenge completed solo, baby. I know it's the easiest one, but it's still an accomplishment. Favorite enemy, probably the Factory Strider. Always requires some new strategy to fight. Yeah, I think the Factory Striders are surprisingly one of the more fair enemies in the game, because there's actual thought put into how you're gonna take it down, compared to some of the other crap the automatons have. Like, heavy devastators, there is absolutely zero excuse. The flinch is ridiculous. The shield makes most weapons just not very useful. And they're freaking everywhere. Especially on Helldive or Super Helldive difficulty. So, yeah. I'd say my favorite enemy, I said the warrior. My least favorite enemy, it's tied between the Elevated Overseer and the Heavy Devastator. Or should it be Charger? I think the Chargers are worse. I've been insta-killed last minute by more Chargers than probably any other player. Literally, I'll be at the very end of a mission, 10 seconds left, and then I see in the corner of my eye, last second, I turn around, there's a giant 3-ton freaking bug with heavy armor that magically spawned behind me and insta-kills me, and with full shield generator and everything. And so there's not really much I can do against that. I don't mind Heavy Devastator, way too explosives. Yeah, it's just when you have like 3 of them, and you've also got guys rushing you, it's just, and then you've got 2 gunships or something, there's not really much you can do, you know? And then top that off with, you are within an enemy, I just stuttered big time, I sounded like, you know, I had some major speech disorder there. You're in range of enemy artillery, you know, that's what you're going to hear the whole time. Illuminate has the most insta-kills. Yeah, and that's my problem with them is, even if the enemy isn't an instant kill, quote-unquote, it feels like an instant kill most of the time because the freaking Overseers, they have aimbot. There's no way to convince me otherwise. Every time they shoot, they hit me. Dead eye, right? Shield generator or not. So, there's not really much you can do about that. Inferno challenge, I'll do that next. And, obviously the Harvesters, that's almost always an insta-kill. I mostly wear heavy armor, so genuinely hate the Lightning Spire. Yeah, I try to avoid those. And the problem is, the prototype armor that they specifically made for the Illuminate is basically useless. Because it's all light armor, and the light armor doesn't do well with enemies that can game end you instantly. And then the only time it's really useful, well, there's two times it's useful, one of which is intentional. It's useful for the freaking Tesla towers, and it's useful for your teammates. That's it. That's the only time it's useful. And so you don't end up bringing the prototype armor, because you're just going to get blown up or something instead. So then, when you don't have it, then boom, the Tesla tower insta-kills you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And its range is seemingly random, right? There's no way to tell when you're in range of the dang thing. So yeah, it's an insta-kill, and it's kind of annoying. And then, oh geez, what other enemies are there? I think the Stingrays are fine, because there's a physical tell of when it's going to hit you. So I think that's what makes it fair. What else? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, the Voteless. Right. I think the Voteless are the most frustrating regular, like, small cannon fodder enemy in the entire game. Because the scavengers, they're everywhere, but it's like one shot, one kill, right? And they have this like weird, awkward pause when they attack that makes them easy to counter. And then the automatons don't really have like a cannon fodder per se. They're typically just, oh, I'm shooting at you, right? But with the Voteless, they're like up my cheeks, shoving their hand up backside, and it's like I can't get them off me. And then you're blasting the crap out of them with a stalwart or, you know, something even bigger, and it just doesn't do anything. And then there's always more and more and more that keep popping up left and right. And then it's even worse when you think a civilian is Voteless, or the other way around, where you think the Voteless is a civilian and you get jumped by him. That's always bad. Best armor passive is Siege Ready. 20% ammo for all items you use is great. I've used Siege Ready before. I always prefer Fortified for one reason. My teammates. I do not trust anybody when I play Helldivers 2. Absolutely nobody. So, I am honestly more scared of my team killing me than of the enemies killing me. Because most of the time, the enemies don't kill me. I tend to do the most deathless runs, because that's like what I aim for, is dying the least. Isn't that the best irony you've ever seen? I just said that's what I go for, dying the least. I instantly get clipped. That was amazing. Please clip that. That's amazing. Okay. Yeah, that'd make for a great short. It's like, okay. Yeah. But in Helldivers 2, I try to avoid dying the most. No, I'm not like sitting in the back of the map or something. I just tend to avoid my teammates because my teammates are more likely to kill me than the freaking enemies. And most of the time, that is the case. I get killed by a bombardment or an airburst, or what else? Napalm, freaking machine gun fire, Gatling sentries. Like, my teammates kill me more than the enemies do. So I just tend to avoid them as like the plague. By the way, Siege Ready affects all weapons and backpacks the player has. Yeah, I think the Siege Ready is good. The only time I use the Siege Ready is with roadblock armor, because I don't like light armor. Because as I said, I like to avoid dying, so I feel like the light armor just isn't enough. So I tend to prefer heavy armor, so I can hold the line better. And the roadblock is pretty good, although I don't tend to use it against the people or the sides you normally think you would. I prefer Siege Ready against Terminids because lots of enemies, lots of room to do things. With the Illuminate, I don't really know what to bring, so I kind of just bring stuff at random, or bring armor at random, I mean. And then when it comes to whatchamacallit, when it comes to the automatons, I literally only run fortified armor, nothing else. Because otherwise, it's instant death for you. I'm gonna just sit here for a minute. I only use light armors. The speed is godly. Yeah, I used to run light armor against Illuminate. I used to run the light gunner armor, but ever since the new update, that's not happening. So yeah, now I prefer heavy armor again. Pretty much the only faction that I don't use heavy armor against are the Terminids, where I prefer medium armor. That's literally it. I don't run light armor. Heavy armor is basically my go-to, so that's my personal preference. But I've seen some of the best players like Takibo online. They use light armor a lot, and I mean they're running around like freaking Sonic, so I definitely see the appeal of it. I said this earlier on stream, but you weren't here earlier. But I played SCP Secret Laboratory for the first. I've been killed by hammerbots every single round this whole stream. I mean, other than the arrow that killed me not that long ago, I've been insta-killed by hammerbots literally every time I've died. I think there's 2 exceptions to that. But every other time it's been by Mark 3, Mark 2, Mark 1 hammerbots. My build is a Ruptor, Ultimatum, Thermite, Arc Gun, Jump, or Hover Pack. Ran into his hammer. Oh yeah, that's because like I'm half paying attention, and then the other half of me is focused on the chat. I prefer to talk than to, you know, clown on the enemies, because most of the time I'm not really trying that hard. I'm kind of just going through the motions because, you know, I'm just having fun. But yeah, I don't have the War Bond with the Ultimatum, so I don't have that. I prefer gas grenades, and then I do like the Eruptor. That's really good. What else? You said the Arc Gun? You mean the Blitzer? Or do you mean the Arc Thrower? I'm guessing because you're talking about the Arc Thrower because you're talking about support weapon, or not support weapons. You're talking about stratagems. And then Jump or Hover Pack. For me, I always switch it up every round. But if we're talking about Illuminate, let's see. I tend to prefer the Eruptor or a Purifier. And then I couple that with the Shield Generator Pack. And then I combine that with gas grenades. Let's see. Gatling Sentry. And then Orbital Precision Shot. Or Precision Strike. That's usually what I run. Thermite can one-shot Illuminate ships. Yeah, I know that it's really good for that. I tend to prefer gas grenades because it helps me not get swarmed by Voteless as well, so it serves more of a multi-purpose. But I know that the Thermite is really good as well, so I'm definitely trying to give that a try after, you know, everything on Super Earth blows over. Speaking of which, what do you think of the SCAF troopers? I think they're cool. They definitely give me a Halo 3 ODST kind of feeling, but at the same time, I wish they were a little more useful. Because, like, you know, they're beyond cannon fodder. Got him. Cool guys, not very useful. Yeah, I mean, they're cool to have around, but I think that if they make it a stratagem, first of all, they need more orders that you can give them, and then, you know, kind of like the original Battlefront 2, and then I think also they need more, like, interactions, so, like, you know, the one that comes to mind is, like, if you offer them a hug, they should give you a hug, you know? Because every soldier needs moral support. I mean, what else are they good for, right? Other than moral support. I mean, they've done a little bit of backup fire for me, but not a lot. And you can't really save them either, which that kind of sucks. So, if I can summon them with a stratagem, that would be cool. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely going to do that because everybody's begging for it. But I just hope that they upgrade them a little bit, you know? Also, I will say, not to slander Super Earth, but, like, person to person, I think that Super Earth has actually the worst tactics I've ever seen in sci-fi history. No joke, if I had to rank the worst strategies ever used in conflict, they would be probably number 2 or number 1, okay? Besides, like, Wakanda, you know, using freaking spears against aliens instead of just blasting them with plasma from a distance, I think that they definitely have the worst tactics. If there are different stratagems for different weapon compositions, then that would be they'd be more useful. Absolutely agreed. Kind of like what game does that? Where they have like you can call in rock. The game that comes to mind is the original Modern Warfare 3, but I know there's other examples. You know, where you can call in like Riot Shield Troopers versus like Delta Squad. But I know there's another game I'm thinking of where you can call in like Rocket Troopers, Riflemen, that sort of thing to back you up instead. Is it... I mean, there's Silica too, where you can kind of do that. I don't know. But, yeah, like I was saying about their strategy, like, they have all these ships. They have thousands of ships. And they don't have an orbital blockade or nothing, okay? Not to mention, you think it'd be like Starship Troopers where they have this massive, orbital station to defend the Earth. I mean, freaking Halo has that with the Cairo station. It's like, you'd think they'd have that. You'd think laser fire would be used a lot more. You'd think troops would be deployed in a more organized manner. You'd think the evacuation sequence would be done a bit better instead of having hundreds of civilians randomly running around like chickens with their heads cut off, And then it's... what else? I think the biggest irony is that they punish you for having civilians killed when it's like you've deployed troops as cannon fodder since the beginning of the Galactic War. When do you care if one random guy dies? Like, I get it in the evacuate civilians mission because in those missions you're escorting like VIP people, right? So those are actually important individuals. But like on Super Earth, these are randos, man. Like not even millions, billions of people are dying. Why do you care if one or two randoms get shot by a machine gun, Built the DSS, gets destroyed immediately. Yeah, I know. It's like, what was the point of it? Every time the DSS was used, some weird crap happened to sabotage it somehow. And then in addition to that, it was never just... it really wasn't that useful, It's like, I think it was useful one time, and it was against the automatons when the community cornered their... it was like, we cut off their reinforcements and then cornered them on this one planet. That was the only time the DSS was useful. Every other time, it was basically just a flexing tool. So, what? Okay, I just got killed by magic. I'll restart this as many times as I need to. It doesn't really bother me all that much. But, yeah, I mean, it's like, the DSS never really helped. And it's like, we got this massive space station. What are we doing? Like, really? Also, another thing that I'm constantly thinking of when fighting the Illuminate is, we fought the Illuminate in the original Galactic War. We have prototype armor to defend us against, electricity-based attacks. Where is the plasma-resistant armor? Like, you'd think an enemy that entirely utilizes plasma and energy weaponry, we would have a counter for that, but I guess not? Like, you'd think that'd be the first thing you try to build, or at least some sort of, like, inbuilt shield system, but I guess not. Instead, we run around, phallus swinging against the enemy, using bullets and getting crushed by overseers. I don't know, the entirety of Super Earth, like, it makes sense if it was just this massively underprepared faction. Like that makes sense. It's kind of like the Galactic Empire in Star Wars. It's like, I get it if you just underestimate your enemy and then get crapped on for it. But for them, first of all, they have no reason to underestimate the enemy. And second, and most importantly, they are a militaristic faction. They are a fascist military faction, right? I feel like fascist is the best way to describe them, right? They are entirely centered around military. Their motivation is very heavily hinged on xenophobia. Not that their enemies should be, held at mercy, because your options are bugs that kill everything they see, cyborgs that essentially are separatists, and the Illuminate that were once peaceful and are now absolutely evil. So, I'm not blaming them for that, but I am saying they're a heavily militaristic faction. Their entire thing hinges on combat and military. Why would they not be the most powerful thing ever, right? Like, if you compare that to Starship Troopers, Starship Troopers is basically a bunch of veterans run the military and run the government. So, they don't really know how to run things. They just know how to fight. And so you get basically just this whole soldier culture that you end up getting. It's a warrior culture, essentially. And that's what everything's hinged off of. And there's not a lot of logic behind it. But with Super Earth, there's no reason that should be true, because knowing how advanced it is, there's no reason why it should be losing to multiple factions. every Super Earth conflict is their fault? Of course it is. But it's like, I think the best way to put it is, think about the United States. Because that's obviously what Super Earth is mostly a parody of, right? I mean, everything from freedom, liberty, democracy, it's all U.S. rhetoric, right? Think about the United States. The United States spends an ungodly amount of money on military spending, right? And despite the fact that we lose a lot of the conflicts we're in, you also have to think about why we lose the conflicts we're in, right? So a lot of the time, it isn't due to lack of technological power or even incompetence in terms of military. It has to do with the enemies you're fighting. Now, this isn't to say that the enemies that we're fighting are at fault all the time, because you get scenarios like Vietnam where the U.S. eventually is at fault, right? And it's clear that it's in a conflict that's pointless. I just walked right into that thing's handle. But when it comes to, the United States, most of the time it's not due to military incompetence, it's due to leadership incompetence politically. And things are driven politically, and they're driven by money. They're not driven by a goal to fight a specific thing, to eradicate them. And so when you get a military culture and a militaristic faction like Super Earth, they're working to essentially eradicate their enemies, to eradicate the Illuminate and to eradicate the automatons. And then for the Terminids, it's more about containment, right? And so it's like, the whole thing, there's no reason to hold back, right? I mean, against the Terminids, kind of. Like, it makes sense they don't want to just put them into extinction because they need the E710 from them. But the Illuminate and the automatons, there's no excuse, right? And the thing is, Super Earth should be ready to fight these things. They've had literally 100 years to prepare for this conflict. And they don't have the most godlike orbital defense systems you've ever seen in sci-fi, right? Given the amount of money that they raise and the amount that they spend on military and the amount of focus they have on military and everybody's willingness to devote themselves to said military, you would think they would have total supremacy over everything. And yet they don't. And with the Terminids, you can argue that the Terminids are actively instigated by Super Earth, even spread by Super Earth, to create a conflict that promotes a war against them. But with the automatons, that's not really necessarily true, because if the excuse is to get rid of them, they would have done it. They wouldn't instead have their attention all shifted and torn in every which direction. And with the Illuminate, they should be damn well prepared to fight against an enemy that they suspected would come back that hasn't been around for 100 years. And you had their technology lying around, so you had every moment to analyze every last droplet of their technology and analyze their species. So you could come up with a bioweapon that you could just, boom, you drop it on one of their planets, they're dead, right? And you can even fine-tune it to where it doesn't affect humans. And this is very simple, right? It all comes down to assessing the nervous system of your enemy, assuming they have a nervous system, which the Illuminate clearly does, right? And so if you drop a bioweapon on an enemy and it specifically targets their nervous system, kind of like the DNA bomb in COD Advanced Warfare, then you could literally eradicate their whole army and not have to lift a finger. And with aircraft, with ships, there should be no problem either, because you think a faction with as many freaking ships and as big of a navy as Super Earth would be capable of fighting a navy like the Illuminates. But you'd be wrong, apparently, because it seems extremely... Goddamn... Oh my... Bro, I've been killed by the same Hammerbot 7 times. What do you think an Illuminate civilian looks like? I know they are Aquarius and have a deep blue black skin and exoskeleton. They probably look really ugly, just like their warriors. I don't know. I mean, by now the Illuminate has clearly shown itself to be like, their whole species has become military, and it's all because of the First Galactic War. In the First Galactic War, the Illuminate were a peaceful species that kind of was forced to take arms, Now, they've totally devoted themselves to warfare, right? And you can tell by all their augmentations, the vote lists, all their experiments, things like that. And so, I don't even think they have a civilian anymore to talk about. I think they're one of those factions that's like, everyone's a fighter, and then once you win the conflict, then you can worry about having civilians and all that. Because right now they can't, I mean, where are they going to go? Where are they going to put their people, right? There's nowhere for civilians to go. So I think that it's really a matter of, like, I don't think they even have civilians. Now, if you're talking about in the first Galactic War, I don't really know. But I'm sure they looked a whole lot more pleasant than they do now. But yeah, I think that a faction like Super Earth, something that is essentially a gigantic empire that is galaxy-sized, should be more capable of combating foes. Especially, like, when you think about it, think about the missions you're sent on as a Helldiver. You are sent against thousands of enemies. And there are a small team of you, right? Which makes you seem grandiose and all. But if you think about the number of planets we lose, and the number of fights we lose, and the number of failed missions people have, it really isn't all that great, right? And it's like, the thing is, it's glorious having a bunch of elite fighters that are basically champions of conflict. But in the end, if you have a population of literally trillions of people across the galaxy, why would you not have massive armies of troops with the best weaponry, vehicles, everything, combating a threat? Because when you think about the logistics of it, the automatons would not be allowed to I mean, think about it. The entire reason the automatons are still around is because they have the metal and the electronic resources to continue being around, right? And so, if you took them out quickly, if you gunned it straight for Cyberstan, they got nothing. They can't fight the total might of Super Earth. Now, the Terminids are a little bit different, because, goddamn, I'm switching challenges. Bro, this one Mark 1 Hammerbot, he's out to get me. he is the main villain. But, with the Terminids, it's a little bit different because they breed like freaking, I was going to say breed like rabbits, but they breed way faster than rabbits, right? I mean, they're basically, they're essentially a virus at this point. They spread so fast, it's incredible. And so it's like, that's kind of difficult to match because, I mean, they're always going to outnumber you, right? And so it's better to send in small groups of people to take out hives and things like that. Really, what you got to do with the Terminids is biological warfare, chemical warfare, and you sweep a whole area. Because otherwise, you got nothing, right? There's nothing you can do to possibly kill them all. So, and that's the thing with the Terminids. With the Illuminate, same thing. You should have giant armies of people combating their armies, because their armies cannot possibly compete. Their species is not even built to survive the kinds of things that humans are meant to survive. In Super Earth, I mean. And so they wouldn't be able to compete on a regular scale. And so, I mean, it really comes down to the tactics you're using. And it's like Super Earth must have literally the most brain-dead strategists, or I should say lack thereof, I've ever seen in sci-fi. So there's my rant. There you have it. I have quite a lot to say about quite a lot of things. What do you think? Alright.
Victory.
Ooh, feels good not fighting much of Hammerbots with the freaking sword. Alright. I'll get Fire Spirit. I'll read your thing once I kill these two. Alright, there you go. I believe the Illuminate are much larger than we give them credit for, as we don't know where Jesus, I just stuttered like Porky Pig. Know where they live. Yeah, that's also true, but I don't know. I mean, it also, another thing to consider that isn't covered a lot in sci-fi, that this is one thing that I like about Invincible, is time. Time works weirdly, because our reference point of time is always on Earth. And if you look at something like Star Wars, Coruscant is the reference point of their calendar, basically. And then Coruscant has basically a similar calendar to Earth, right? So that or not calendar, but similar manner of time. So it makes everything convenient to keep track of. However, when you consider planets in really anything of sci-fi, you have to think about how time is influenced in their area. So, for example, the Illuminate, obviously, the first galactic war was 100 years ago for Earth. But for the Illuminate, on their home world or wherever they're at, was it 100 years? Was it 500 years for them by now? Was it 10 years? Was it 2 years? You don't know how long it was for them, right? And so it's like, well, if they had 100 years, then hell, how are you going to build up your civilization in 100 years, right? Because a lot of their technology would have been lost and ravaged in the First Galactic War. And then if it comes to, you know, building up a civilization, that don't take 100 years. It takes forever, right? It takes a long, long time. And yeah, I mean, I think it'd take much longer to rebuild than you'd expect. Now, if they had like 200 years, 300 years in their home world, that'd be a bit different, right? And it'd go so on and so forth. Now, I don't know what happened to their home world, but wherever they're living now, it could be different, right? And so I think that's an important thing to keep in mind. So I think you could absolutely be right that they're much larger, but I also think that they're way too heavily integrated into military by now for them to just be, you know, growing corn and, you know, watching anime. So, yeah. Alrighty. Let me take out these archers. Alright, very good. Alright, let's see. I'll save it for a team revive. Weird lack of guns in the game. Oh, in this game? If you're talking about this game, I agree. It's kind of weird that a highly advanced machine intelligence would not use, you know, lasers out of a gun, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe they, you could say that their reference point, okay, there's a few ways you can look at it. The first one is that they have you fighting in an arena, so they could have just arena weaponry to make it more interesting. The second, because like they do have ships in the story mode, and the ships shoot lasers like normal, so yeah, I don't know. You could also take it as like the reference point of human weaponry could be swords and, you know, bows and crap. So they could also have that as like, that's the base of their weapon, and they can't think past that because maybe they're not like advanced enough to think that deep. I don't know. This game isn't really supposed to be realistic or logical, so I'm sure they just didn't think about it. But, what was I gonna say? This is a very random question, but everyone in chat, who do you think your favorite YouTuber is? No, this is not a leading question for you to say me. I do not expect you to say me. More of like, who do you usually watch? Because for me, I would say, let's see. I mean, there's quite a few people that I watch. Corey Kenshin is a staple. Although I used to be like, I used to watch him all the time. Now I watch him a little bit less, but mostly because, you know, it's kind of, it's like in bursts when he uploads. Not to his fault, just, you know, like, I'm not gonna know when he uploads every single time. And then what else? I've said this before, but like I watch Sylvanas, the homie Damien. They also do anime stuff like I do. Or I should say I do anime stuff like they do, because, you know, they did it before me, but yeah. I'd say they're really good content creators. The homie Damien, he's pretty small, but I think I've advertised him more than probably any other person on the internet, so that's pretty fun. Well, besides himself, of course, but, you know, it's, obviously. Let's see. Got him. Victory. Let's see. Who else do I watch? Saya the Clown. He's basically real life Meat Canyon. Who else? I'm not as particular as I used to be. I used to hardcore watch Venturian Tale and Mr. Gibbs. Mr. Gibbs, he's basically stopped uploading videos, and ever since like 2 years ago, his content became very standardized, very streamlined. I don't know what happened, but I don't know. It went down the toilet, and it's not, you know, any jab at him. It's just it went too much into that. It was like YouTube Kids, but it wasn't YouTube Kids. Instead, you had a grown like 45-year-old man that curses all the time as like the head of it, you know what I mean? Actually, I don't know if he curses that as much in the more recent videos. I don't know. But and then Venturian Tale, I don't really need to explain what happened with them. So yeah, which isn't to say that I won't watch like older videos theirs, but it's just kind of sentimental, you know, watching older stuff. Alright, I'm gonna take out Spider-Tron, then go for the freaking go for the sword bots. Oh, poke it. Poke it good. Oh, jeez. Okay. Yeah, whip it good. Oh, okay, get it in. Stick it in. Yep, gonna make this sound as bad as I can possibly make it sound. Come on, we can do this. Just gotta ram it in deeper. Yep, we got it. Please, nobody take this audio out of context and insert it into some short or something, then post it on Instagram. I actually don't have Instagram. I actually don't have any social media besides YouTube and Twitch. I just don't. I'm not, like, obviously I'm not 75 years old, so I don't have Facebook. What else? Instagram, people get hooked on it. Same thing with, you know, good old TokTik. Yes, I said it wrong on purpose. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of getting wrapped up doom scrolling or something. I prefer intellectual videos and, you know, things I have to think about. Or just, you know, video games. Or movies. Or shows. And occasionally books. You know, I'm not a kind of a segue. I'm not really much of a book reader. I'm more of a writer. I'm definitely much more involved with writing books and writing, you know, stories in general. I am not very involved with reading, specifically fiction. I'll read nonfiction, like nonfiction stuff online. I am not a big fan of reading fiction, though, because why would I read fiction when I can go watch a movie? I think movies are superior to fictional books in almost, I would say every way, but you could argue almost every way. But yeah, I think movies and shows are just far superior. By far. But of course you need to be able to write scripts and write, plot and story, really any story in general. So obviously writing is an important component. Alright. This is gonna be difficult. Oh god, I pulled up the emote menu. Okay. Didn't mean to do that. Wow, this already sucks balls. Okay. I just gotta wait for them to kill each other. Then my problems will be gone. Okay, somehow I'm still alive. Alright, team revive acquired. I gotta say, this is probably the most commentary I've ever had on a stream. Like, what? That was far away. Okay. Normally, I, run out of stuff to say, or I become so focused on the game I'm playing that I just stop commenting at certain points. But I'm finding myself with a lot of topics to bring up. So yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna talk about more stuff like this. And it really helps to have a live audience because obviously if somebody brings something up, I've got a bunch of things to say about it probably. So, it helps create a dynamic that's better than just me rambling at random, Which I tend to do anyways, but, Oh, goody. Mark III Hammerbot on an island. Okay. Alright, got him. Victory. Did everybody in chat fall asleep? I'm getting that feeling. I can't even tell you guys how many times people have fallen asleep, listening to me talk. Which I can't... I've been complimented on it before, but I'm not really sure if I should take it as a compliment. Because, I'm not sure if I want people to sleep to the sound of my voice. But, if it helps you, then go ahead. I guess it is kind of late for most people. I say most people because late for me is 2 a.m., so... It's funny, with how late... Oh, I don't know how people fall asleep to you yelling. I don't either. That's the thing. Also, it's important to note that, in my videos where that's been said, where people have watched them and said that, I'm not yelling in a lot of them. I usually only get this kind of enthusiasm when I'm on stream, or when I'm ranting about something, because the ranting is obvious, and when I'm on stream, it's a live audience, so I'm more enthusiastic. But, I'm putting on a stage play, right? So I'm going to be more exciting and more prepared, to say whatever, be very loud and joyful than I would be if I'm doing things by myself. Because when I'm doing things by myself, I'm just talking to myself, and it gets depressing very fast, because it's it's like that crazy guy in the basement of his freaking... During nuclear war, and I'm using sock puppets to talk to myself. That's what it feels like. So when I'm on stream, I'm a lot more enthusiastic and bombastic. Team player, get 3 team revives in a public match. Funny, I'm not really a team player. I'm playing this by myself. But yeah, I don't know. People have a tendency to fall asleep while I'm talking. Oh god. Mark II jetpack sword box. Okay, I'm focusing. Focus! Focus! God, I hate these things. Got him. Okay. I don't know how people fall asleep to you yelling. It's a very sassy comment. I'm sure it was, I don't know, maybe it wasn't meant that way, maybe it was. It's funny either way. I think it's enjoyable. I think it's quite delightful. Ow. God, I got knocked into the next century. I've been, like, so in the zone of talking and things like that, I've totally tuned out the music. I hope the music hasn't become annoying on loop or anything. I've just started becoming numb to it by now. Alright, I'm gonna take out the archer and then go back for the other guys. Alright, cool. Okay. Well, let's see. Whew. Okay. I guess the jetpack will be useful later, but I might as well get armor first. Yeah. Oh goody, those are Jetpack Mark II spear bots. This got really bad really fast. Okay. At least they killed the kick bots for me. Ow, God, they're... Oh! At least I have a shield. This helps. Oh yeah, kick him down, not me. There you go. It's kind of easy to mix this up, you know. Not really, but to the untrained kickbot, it would be. Alright, sweet. Let's see. Might as well get a jetpack by this point. Alright, stay tuned. I'm gonna mute my mic for like a minute or two, but I'm sure that's not really alarming to you, considering I've been talking this entire time, so I'm gonna do that. Alright, I'll be back as in verbally back in like 2 minutes. Alright, I'm back. Okay. What the? Okay, that was weird. Alright, so I got the 2 overseers here, and then some business bots, I guess. They're just throwing everything they got at me now. Of course, they are failing. I was very ready for that to kill me right after I say that. Sorry, is that a microwave I hear in the background? That's great. Okay. Bro, these jump pads don't work. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna have to full send it. There you go. Kill your teammates. Almost just got hammered down. I'm just gonna kill this thing so it doesn't kill me. I've been killed by way too many hammer bots to let them live by now. Yep, and then death. I said death. Accept your death. There we go. Alright. Well, we are absolutely breezing through this challenge, guys. Except that's going to change really soon, because we're kind of, we're approaching uranium tier. We got 10, or technically 11. We got 11 levels left to go, my friends. This is it. We're nearing the end. Once this challenge is over, that's it. I mean, we would have completed 5 challenges then if we managed to do this one. So, I mean, that's really good, actually, especially with this game, because this game is surprisingly difficult. It just doesn't really look like it. Although, I guess you did see me get killed by a hammer bot like 5 times, so I guess it does kind of look like it. Alright. And there's a lot of dodging and all that crap. Okay. I mean, it's not like Elden Ring or something, but, you know. Alright. Alright, who's left? Oh, that guy. Okay. Come here, buddy. There we go. Okay. Gotten my rhythm on. Now that I'm not ranting about Super Earth. Alright. Dude, we are in uranium tier, my friends. This is it. This is where things start to get insanely difficult. Except we're not in use. Oh, never mind. Okay, wow, this is already. Wow, God, it's horrible. Oh my lord, it's horrible. All my armor is already gone. There's laser.
Clone activated.
Yes, I'd say the likelihood of us winning is basically 0. But we're gonna try anyways. These laser raptors are the worst thing in this game, and I'm dead.
Clone activated.
Just like that, the challenge is about to end because of one single enemy type. An enemy type that I honestly forgot about. An enemy type that, not to mention, basically never misses. Very, very difficult to miss. I think this specific level is the one that has ended so many of my runs. Because of the freaking laser raptors. Because they kill you instantly. As you obviously can tell. Well, death awaits. And I can't get any more upgrades. All I can get is armor, so I'm just gonna have to really clutch up here. Oh God. Okay. Yeah, death awaits. It's over. It's so over. I have no sword. Oh my God. On to the saws. There you go, my friends. There you go. One of them got team killed. Oh, right, they're basically fireproof. That's nice. That was close. Oh, that was even closer. Okay. Got him. What? Okay. Oh, God, Mark II kick.
Clone activated.
Well, it's safe to say I'm out of lives. I thought I already was, but guess this is the last one. Oh, God. Oh, it's over. It's so over. Okay. Oh, I have one leg. I have to complete this with one leg. It's over. I'm doomed. Well, fellas, we had a good run. We had a really good run. Most people would not get this far by themselves. I'll tell you that much. I mean, for a solo run on what is supposed to be for co-op multiplayer, this has been amazing. But unfortunately, amazing isn't enough when you're playing a game where a single thing can insta-kill you. Wow, I'm honestly surprised I'm still alive, which is the most common phrase you'll hear in the Uranium tier. And I'm dead. Well, wow. I made it to level 25 in the Uranium tier by myself with only one weapon available to me, being the spear. So, oh, and with only 3 extra lives. So, I mean, that's a challenge within itself, right? Anyways, my friends, we have achieved quite a lot here today. We are 40% way through the achievements. We completed every single player challenge. Excuse me, I now have the Kickbot available, to me. Jesus, I'm like belching crap up. And, well, I'm sure we learned a lot today through my many rants and discussions of Marvel and DC and Helldivers and strategy and whatnot. And, yeah, I mean, we have gotten through quite a lot. We have completed 4 challenges today, including one that is meant for co-op. And we got pretty far on 2 of these, minus me getting killed by the Hammerbots. Anyways, I mean, what time is it? Jesus, okay. Yeah, past midnight. Well, my friends, that is going to be all for this time. This has been a 3-hour stream. Wow, 3 hours and almost 10 minutes. I'm going to wait until it hits the 10-minute mark just so it's nice and even. Thank you all for joining me here today. I mean, this has been fantastic. I think this has probably been either the best or the second best stream I've ever done. Because I've had the most people watching. I've had one stream where more people watched, but they weren't interactive. So it's basically, it might as well be less, right? Thank you here today, Picky. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce your name, but I very much appreciate your presence here. What was well, I mean, obviously we had Pedro, and then who was the other guy? It was Mr. Buzzsaw. That's what it was. And then, of course, we had a cameo from the one, the only WX analyst, Caden Barker. He's definitely not here anymore, but he was earlier. He's a regular on my streams. That's also because I know him, right? Like, personally, not like, know him as in recognize him. Yeah, I mean, I very much appreciate the conversations, the topics, everything, the discussions. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, this has been easily one of the best streams I've ever done. it's either the first or second only to the Super Seducer 2 stream that I did on YouTube, which is actually the first stream I've done on YouTube. That was like a giant party. That one was insane. But thank you all for attending, and thank you all for the wonderful time. This has been the Everyman, and I will see you all in the next video and or stream. Have a fantastic day and a fantastic life, everybody. Goodbye. And yes, Helldivers on stream. Oh, wait, are you asking for Helldivers on stream? If you're asking for me to do Helldivers on stream, know that I've actually tried it, I think, 13 times. I'm not kidding you. Every single time I do Helldivers and I record it, horrible things happen. It's like, I mean, it is catastrophic. It's like a curse, right? When I play by myself, it's totally fine. If I record it, dude, everything goes to hell in a handbasket.